Okay, Kim B, you're here.
Hello.
We're finally hanging out for real.
Can't see. Oh, look, see messy. See
You can't tell from here. Look
It's all-
at mine.
It's all blended in black here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love the shade that you did. It's very pretty.
It's two different colors, and one of them like completely washed out already. Like
That sucks. The
see it?
purple looks good though.
Well, they were both purple, but one was like a blue purple, and the other one was like a, regular purple.
Yeah. So did the blue one is the one that washed out?
Yeah, it's like you can kind of see that. It's where the gray is. See it? It's like
Yeah.
just there, but
Okay. Subtle. Well, it's still pretty. I like it a lot.
my body's like no blue. You're not allowed to have any blue.
Yeah. So show off your purple wine that you were just telling me about.
Let's see if we can get it to show up. It tastes like blueberries.
That sounds fantastic. I love blueberry. Oh, it's so pretty.
Weird.
Oh, it's so pretty. I'm on the hunt for a purple goblet or chalice for my vampire chat with Steven. I want to have like a pimp cup, purple pimp cup.
I have a blue one. I have a blue
Yeah.
one. Here, I'll show you. It's right here. I'll show you. I got this in New Orleans, and when I said to, I don't remember if it was Lee or Steven. See that?
Yeah.
It's like a blue.
Cool. Oh, cool.
And they put a slushy in it. I can't remember which place it was from in Bourbon. But if that was purple, that would have worked.
Yeah. It looks sort of purple.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks purple on screen.
It's dustier. I would drink out of it.
Okay, so I was trying to think. Hold on, let me turn off my Facebook because it's beeping and bugging me. Oh, what happened?
What?
Where'd my screen go?
I'm here.
There it is. Never mind. Boy, it got dark all of a sudden. Look at that.
You and me both sitting in the dark.
How did I get so dark? Where did the light go? That's weird.
Facebook.
But
You closed that other window.
I did, but how would that? I guess it was reflecting on my face or something. I don't know. Anyway, I was trying to think the other day or this morning actually. How did we actually become friends? Because we've been friends for a while now, but I can't remember how. Like, did we meet through somebody else's Facebook page or like what happened?
Didn't you?
What happened?
Were you on the forum page? On
No. I
You
don't think so.
He didn't put you in there. The guy that started it. He put
I don't know.
all the people that we were friends. Like there was a gang of friends on the forum.
Yeah.
So forum on Facebook.
I was never on the forum.
He might have just put you in there.
Yeah, I don't know because I'm going to be honest with you here. I get added to groups. I don't pay any attention to that at all. Like people send me invites and stuff. I just scroll right past. Like I don't even look at that stuff because it's like nonstop. Right. So I'm in, God only knows what groups I'm in. For all I know, I'm in some awful groups that I shouldn't be in, but I don't pay any attention to any of that stuff. So I could have gotten added to this group or that or whatever.
But it's like, I think if we look, we've been friends on Facebook since like 2012.
So that's a long time. Yeah.
So so that's the only thing I can think of because I originally had 3 Facebook pages, right? So I had one for my kids went to Catholic school, so like a normal family person one. And then I had one, I had typo negative friends.
Yeah.
Right? And then I had one that was like art stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I used the art one all the time.
Yeah.
And then I friended all my friends from the forum on there. And the other one I just deleted. I ended up getting rid of it.
Yeah.
And then obviously the family one's gone. My kids are grown and moved out now,
Yeah.
I don't need a normal one now for church anymore. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think I got on Facebook either 2011 or 2012. I'm almost sure I God, I just asked me that too. I looked and I was like, oh my God, I've been friends with her for a super long time, but we pretty much started talking last year.
Yeah, because we didn't really talk until, I mean, it's been a while now, but
Yeah.
and I was thinking like, was it through Diana maybe? Because I know we're both friends with her, but yeah, I don't know.
We post stuff, I post stuff, she posts stuff. We're friends with like 66 people. And they're
Yeah,
all typo negative people, right?
yeah,
So somebody posts, you know, you like it or whatever like that, you know. But we
yeah,
weren't like talking a lot or anything like that. You might like something, I might like something, or
yeah,
comment
yeah, yeah,
or it's like that, you know. But yeah, it was weird. So but I have to tell you, in 2016, when I went to New Orleans, right?
yeah.
Before we talked all the time, I told Marita, I said, I know this girl and she writes these vampire books and they would go really good in here. I'm telling you, they would
Aw,
love them, because I sat there with her all week, you know, in the store, and there's either like drunk tourists come in and they're like, oh, what is this? And then there's just like, you know, regular tourists that come in, right? But
yeah,
that's just the people that literally seek out that store, that know about it,
yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
There's vampire people, because there's definitely like, you know, gothy heavy metal or vampire people that go to New Orleans because they want to go there for the voodoo and the
Sure, sure,
stuff,
sure.
and they know about the store already. And those are like, that's your people. You know what I'm saying? Those
Yeah,
are,
for sure. Yeah,
you know,
because I'm one of those people too.
yeah. So you know what I'm saying though? So, and I told her that years ago. So I
That's
said, you know,
funny.
so it all, and then this all happened with book club. So that worked out pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm so excited because it's like done now.
I know, I know. Well,
We've
my guys still have to get dressed. They're naked on the table right now, but 30 are a lot to put together. Because you remember we were
yeah,
going to do 10 book boxes. And I was like,
yeah,
oh yeah, no, you know. So they just
that's a
take,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that
It's
hair.
been a lot. It's been, oh my gosh, all the hair. It's been a lot for everybody because everything's handmade, you know? That's why it's so cool. Because even the goofy sort of silly stuff I put together, I mean, those took time. Those took several hours each.
Yep.
And even signing the book plates, because I didn't just sign them, I decorated each label. So they're all different. Um, it's just been super fun. And Dirk got to help me do some of the cassettes. I did those track lists.
Right.
He helped me with some of those. So that was fun for him.
Did you put them back
But
in the
yeah,
plastic, or did you just send the cardboard part?
it's just the J card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't actually, because I'm like, if this was old school, I would have actually made tapes, but with people's copyrights and things like that, you can't really do that stuff anymore.
No.
But there are, I do have a Spotify list with all of the stuff on there. So, and the J cards have the link
Oh
so
yeah.
that people can look it up because I want artists to get paid for their work, you know?
Sure.
So, but yeah, because initially I thought, oh, it might be sort of interesting to do like thumb drives with all the songs on them or
Right.
something like that. But I'm like, you get into all kinds of copyright issues with stuff like that. So I'm like,
You,
a Spotify list will work and
you
people
know,
get paid that way.
right? You know, you could have just put your music
Yeah, but
on.
that would be self-serving and also that's
Not
not the soundtrack for the book.
that,
You know, there's a couple Lycia songs in there, obviously, but Violet listens to more than just Lycia. So yeah, but it's been super fun and like kind of hanging out with you, Stephen and Candy, and putting all these ideas together, and it's fun that we're finally almost there.
yeah, and
Almost.
he's packing boxes this weekend, so that's kind of fun. They're taking pictures. He said, I think tomorrow or Monday. I can't
Yeah.
remember what he said.
Yeah. I
But
can't believe it. It's so
yeah,
cool. I just hope that people, I mean, because we really put a lot of thought into what we wanted to add to these, and it's been tons. And I mean, how many? We've been working on this like what, half a year or more? Like it's been a long time.
yep.
So I'm hoping that people get the cheesy thrill out of it that I get out of it.
They
the
will.
nerd, the nerdy thrill that I get from it.
They definitely will. It's fun. They'll get it, you know, when they get the book and stuff. Sort of like
Yeah.
this once May's book. He says to me, oh, they put holy water in squirt guns. And I'm like, oh, I could do that. You know, So I went and I got squirt guns and I made these little stickers that say holy water on it. And, you know, that was easy enough to do, you know, and then, but I'm so stupid. Like, I made these really tiny for
Yeah.
the vampires to hold. And then the author did her introduction and she was sitting there with a bottle of Campari.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was booze because I'm stupid. I would have just made the little bottles. So then I made a whole bunch of little bottles like that. So now I have like 20 little vampire bottles. No parent.
Those are cute though.
But I did not realize that the name of her book that was booze.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I don't drink.
So I know, but I didn't know. I'm like, I should know that, or somebody should told me that. So
She might find those fun though to have.
well, I have so I sent some to Steven just to send them to him.
Yeah.
Things or something.
Little trinkets, fun little trinkets they could throw in purchase bags or something, you know, when someone buys something, just pop one in there as a freebie.
I couldn't believe I didn't know that. I was like embarrassed. So
well, it happens, dude.
So Dracula, he has 2 books on it because you're putting the 2 books, book 1 and book 2 in your box.
That's so cool.
So they're so cute. And they came out
They
really
are. They're very cute. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I can't wait to see you know, how people like them, and I'm hoping that tons of people show up to the hangout at the end of the month.
We got to get people in. We don't get a lot of people in the interviews. We need to get more people.
Yeah. I'm
club, and you know they don't all come. So, you know, and we always give away stuff, so it's sort of like come and you know, because I mean we've had times where there's only like 10 people, and we got like 5 gifts. It's like, you know,
so everybody almost gets one. Yeah. Which is fine.
And then there's the same people that come every month. They come.
Right.
And they win prizes all the time because they're there all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, hey man, loyalty should be rewarded, I guess, right?
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, but people should come because.
Well, I have some very good giveaway prizes for this one. So we just released an album, Casa Luna.
Right.
And I'm going to have Mike and myself, we'll sign this. It will be the one and only signed copy of this album. So if anybody wants a signed copy, they have to come and try to win it. Plus I'm going to do probably a Lycia shirt and a keychain and just some other little goodie things that I have around here that are pretty rare. And probably maybe some weird random stuff. We'll see. Yeah. I like weird random stuff. I'm weird like that. But so it should be fun.
Gather
Do you hear my dog?
Pictures.
I can't hear you over my dog barking right now. Can you turn your volume up a hair?
I don't know.
I can't even hear her. Dog's damn barking.
I'm looking.
I know, it's confusing. Once she stops barking, it'll be fine. I don't know what's going on.
Dirk ran outside for some strange reason. Just took off. The front door's wide open.
What the heck?
I will talk louder.
No, don't talk louder. For some reason, Dirk went outside and it got the dog all riled up. I don't know what's going on. Dirk,
usually when somebody's dog, my dog comes in and starts barking. She's
so obnoxious, and like she's really old now, so she barks even louder than she used to. And of course we have cement floors, which it's like an echo chamber in here. So when she starts barking, like it's like a knife piercing your eardrum. But I think she's chilling out now.
When I was putting the blankets over this laser printer, I hit something and it keeps going off like a werewolf. Like, and I'm like, I don't even know what it is, but there's something over here and it keeps doing it. So if you hear that.
I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was doing it all afternoon. I'm like, what? And I don't see anything over there, so I'm not quite sure what it is.
Maybe it's an actual werewolf.
Maybe.
I wish, kind of. Depends on what genre of werewolf, I guess it is.
Exactly. Who wrote the story? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all different.
So yeah, I'm super excited about it. And after we finish here, I'm gonna make my video for the club,
Cool.
which I'm really nervous about because I have no idea what to say, but
I know.
we'll
Did you
see.
go watch any of the other ones?
I did it because I don't want I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't wanna.
Well, they're all different.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw them when I've seen them,
yeah.
but I'm just like, I don't want to, I'm just going to wing it. Like I do everything. I literally just wing everything.
Well, that's
So we'll
Some
see
people
how it
are,
goes.
like, really, really like good at that, and I'm like, oh, they must do book clubs like all the time.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's the only thing I could think of, or like that kind of interview.
Yeah. And I'm super awkward at everything. So like he's like, describe your book. And I'm just like, I'm not good at that. I'm really not good at it. You can ask me questions and I'll have really, thoughtful answers about it. But to just go, what's your book about? I'm just like, vampires? Whatever.
You say the thing about how when you dreamt it
Yeah.
and that they talk to you, they kind of tell you what to write.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm going to keep it real chill because I want the main thing for us to be hanging out and talking about the books. Like I'm not going to, it's going to be very basic and very simple because I want people to hang out. Like I want us to hang out together and talk about it. And so I'm not going to give a ton of detail or anything like that. I'm just going to be super chill. Plus, like I can just picture if Violet was a real person, just being like, "Can you please shut up?" Like,
stop talking.
I mean, she is a real person, but if she was just like, I could just picture her being like, shut up, you're embarrassing me."
I posted on her page yesterday. Did you
Huh?
I posted on her page yesterday.
I didn't see that. I don't get half my notifications. I'll have to go look.
Yeah.
She's not very active on there. She's got a lot of things going on at the moment. She doesn't post on Facebook a whole lot.
Yeah.
Roman has his own Facebook page too.
Oh,
I
like that one too.
Yeah, he's on there too, but he what is my child doing outside? What is going on? Hold on a second. Hey Mike. What's going on with Dirk outside?
We'll talk later about it.
Okay.
But he is being very defiant right now.
He's like outside pacing around crying.
Are you on mute right now?
No. I don't know there's drama at the house. I don't know what's going on.
I hope he's okay.
He's fine. He got in trouble for not cleaning his room, so I think he's pouting.
All men pout.
Girl. Yeah, even the tiny ones, I guess. I don't know what. Such drama. See, you never know what you're going to get when you tune into this stupid show. So
is school over for him now?
Yeah, he's done. His last day was Thursday.
Oh, lucky him.
I know. I wish we could get the summer off ourselves. Oh my
I'm
Lord.
Always.
Yeah, life is so freaking stressful. So much stuff going on all the time. Drama everywhere. And I don't know what's going on. This whole week I've had anxiety. I'm positive it's just hormonal because there's no logical, like I'm not technically stressed out about anything officially, besides normal life, whatever. And like right now I'm like cooking hot. Like I'm so hot right now. So
I'm always hot.
it's so aggravating.
And
we get like 2 weeks of cold weather here. So
I tell you all the time, we get cold weather and I can't wear warm clothes. Like I can't wear sweaters and turtlenecks and nice fuzzy sweaters. I can't. I just get so hot.
Yes.
I wear a sweat jacket all winter.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going out hiking in the woods.
Right. Right.
I do have boots, but to walk in the snow with the dog, but I cannot wear anything warm. All my stuff is packed away.
I know.
It's like far and few between. When you get sweatpants and they're really old and they get really thin? I have that. But like
Yeah.
regular pants that are thick, I can't wear them.
They're too hot. I know. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like I can, I love it when it's cool enough here to actually wear a long sleeved shirt. But again, they're like thin, like super thin long sleeve shirts and like hoodies and stuff, because it does get like, I mean, it doesn't get cold here.
Right.
But sometimes when you go out like late at night or in the morning, which is when I was doing a lot of my walking, it'll be like, 35, 40 degrees and stuff. And you can wear a sweatshirt comfortably. But if I'm doing a walk where I'm like doing like 5 miles or whatever, I still get hot
Right.
and end up taking the hoodie off and like throwing it in the yard as I'm doing laps or whatever. Because
Right.
it just I'm just hot all the freaking time.
Me too. It's a curse.
Yeah.
It's
And
not-
I have friends who are just like freezing cold all the time. And I'm like, well, that would suck too, but at least you can put clothes on or go take a hot bath,
Exactly.
I don't know.
When you're hot, that's it.
Yeah.
So I know it's just starting to get hot here, and everything's closed up here, and our windows are locked, and our windows are like 75 years old. They're hard to open. There's like two that I have open, and one in the kitchen, one in the bathroom. Those open okay, right? But like the ones in my bedroom, you can't open them very well. You
Ugh.
get them open for the summer. You don't get them closed and locked every night when you close them. You can't, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't like when I open them because when the air goes on, he wants everything tightly closed,
Yeah.
And so he says to me this morning, like, well, I'm not going to open the windows because it was like the first hot day. And I'm like, I didn't ask you to open the windows, but it was so hot, and I
Yeah.
got the fans going and it just pushes around hot air. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's May and it started already. And it's not even really hot yet, but it's like, I can't take
Yeah.
it all. It's like, I get so hot,
It
All
makes me
winter I'm hot.
angry.
Well, and like all winter I'm hot
Yeah.
because I live with old people and they're cold. So they got the heat on.
Ugh.
I would
Yeah.
rather be cold and then put a sweater on.
I agree. I
No.
agree completely.
So,
Yeah. I like if I could control the temperature, because Mike and Dirk are always cold,
right.
I would have it set at like 60 degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think ours is like it's 68 or 69. I don't know, but I'm like,
Ours is 77.
yeah, yeah.
But see, because it's so hot here, if you have it below that, it will literally run nonstop.
Exactly.
And then your bill would be just off the charts ridiculous. But nevertheless, if it was up to me, I would have it set for like 60, and then because you sleep better in the cold for one thing.
I definitely think so.
Yeah.
So they finished the bathroom this week finally. We
Yeah.
bathroom construction. And we used to have like one of those plastic door enclosures, for the shower.
Yeah.
It's really crappy. So we're not putting one up because my kids moved out. We just have like this nice new bathtub now, right? So we got a pole, and I'm like, oh, I have a shower curtain, and I'm digging through my cupboard, and I find it. I bought it, God knows when, years ago in the first week of November, and it's like white with skeletons on it. So I must have seen it somewhere. I got it for like $2,
Yeah.
get Marshalls or something, and so I get it out, and my husband's like, yeah, okay. So little by little, each room is starting to get more spooky. Little by little, it creeps in, So
Yeah.
I know people come over to my house to buy stuff or to come see me for whatever, for art stuff. And they always walk in, and you can tell they always go like, like they think it's going to be like the Addams Family house when they walk in my house.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of stuff, but it's still kind of normal,
Yeah.
But I got a lot of paintings and stuff up in the living room and things, but it's not as spooky as people think it,
Yeah, sure.
My office is like a mess, but it's spooky.
Yeah, I mean, ours is a mix of like I guess quote unquote normal. I don't know what is I don't know.
Like normal people.
You just like what you like. So to me, this is not weird, but
Yeah.
I know I sometimes wonder, like when some of Dirk's friends from school, when their parents came over for the first time, like what were they thinking? I mean, because I've got like a goat head on the wall and like, weird stuff everywhere. But
I wanted to, but we have yellow walls in the kitchen, so I bought fabric to make pumpkin curtains, like kind of pumpkins and sunflowers, kind of normal, not Halloween looking.
Yeah.
I had some bat stuff in there, and then I bought like different like pumpkin things, and that's in there. But it's not that much, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe people appreciate it when they come over, but I
I
do.
think that people are interested because it's so different than the typical, typical stuff that people have. So it's kind of neat to look around and see different things. Like my mom, she collects a lot of things, and so she'll have tons of like glassware and knickknacks and just interesting stuff all over to look at. And it's not my style because it's her style, but it's still interesting to me to be able to look around somebody's house and see all the kinds of stuff that they collect, because
Yeah.
that's part of their personality. So it gives you an interesting insight, like your aesthetic is different than mine. Like yours is very Halloweeny and stuff. I don't know what you call this. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what it is, but it's different. But I think that's what's cool, because we have, you and I have different aesthetics, but we appreciate the same type of stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween's the best month,
Well, I mean, of course.
Why not?
For so many reasons. Like fall is just, especially I feel like in Ohio, when I lived there, of course I loved fall, but then you also knew, okay, it's going to be freezing cold here for like 6 months,
Exactly.
and you're going to be locked in the house, essentially, etc. As a kid, was my thought, because you couldn't get out and play with your friends and do all that kind of stuff as easily as you can during the spring and summer, whatever.
Right.
So fall was like fun, but it's also like back to school and then, all that drama. But as an adult, and especially living in Arizona, it's hot here, like hot.
Oh.
Last year, it was over 100 degrees until like the end of November. So the fall here marks the end of the extreme heat.
Why did you not move there? Why did you choose Arizona?
So when I first got into contact with Mike, he lived here.
Okay.
And he moved here with his family in the 70s. So he lived here. And then we, hooked up, or whatever you want to call it. That sounds way grosser than intended. But when we we didn't hook up, but when we met and like became a couple or whatever you want to call it, we decided, well, I wasn't ready to move away from my family. So, and we were doing tours and stuff, and it was easier to tour from the Midwest than from here, because everything's closer over there. So he moved to Ohio, and we lived there. And then in 2001, we worked in this music and film distributor warehouse, which was a fantastic job for jobs, because we pulled music and films all day long. We worked with music and film, so it was fun. Right. But that's right at the end when people started downloading everything for free, and everybody's record sales became non-existent. Yeah. So one day we came to work, and one by one, they walked everybody to the office and said, "You no longer have a job," and they fired, laid off 50% of the staff that day. And so we were pretty frustrated with just life in general at that point. So on our drive from work to home, we're like, let's just move. Let's move back to Arizona. Okay. Because my time that I spent here, I think I spent probably 3 months total in Arizona, and I loved it so much. It was so different from Ohio. I mean, it's like night and day from Ohio. And so I just had nothing but fond memories. And then, it's like in retrospect, we should have just went someplace completely new. You know what I mean? Just start over someplace completely new that was more fitting of both of our, personal lifestyles and what we want out of life and all that kind of stuff. But, you go with the familiar a lot of times, and this was familiar. And we came here, we got really good jobs. We have a house. Our house is almost paid off. Can't really afford to just up our kids in school. you know, so now it's like you're here. And I feel like if I didn't have to work, I wouldn't care so much about the heat. I know that sounds weird, but misery loves company. So
Yeah.
if you're unhappy in one aspect, then you start everything else that's kind of shitty also becomes really annoying. And so, but if I didn't have to work, I don't think I would think as much about hating the sun and the heat. And it's random and weird, but
Right.
I think that's how my mind works.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And so how did you end up where you are?
Well, we were living in Queens. We were living in this apartment. Um, he became a dislocated worker. He was a typesetter, and it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh wow.
They paid for him to go back to college and take classes and stuff, and it just, we were never going to buy a house, in New York City. That was never going to happen. And we had neighbors, and they had two kids in the same apartment as we did, one bedroom apartment. They had two kids, and we were like, you know, we both
Yeah.
grew up in houses. He grew up in Long Island. I grew up in Buffalo. We grew up in houses,
Right.
space in your own bedroom. And so we went around and we looked. We went to Buffalo, and we went to Toronto, and we went to a couple places. And my sister was living in Des Moines, so we came to visit her, and we liked it. And so we decided we were going to move here. Cost of living is really cheap here. She raised three kids here. She got divorced, and she raised three kids here. They all turned out really good.
Yeah.
How could it be so bad? And so then when we decided we were going to move to Iowa, my parents up and sold their house in Buffalo and moved here like in 6 months. So we were able to come quicker.
Yeah.
They moved to some little town upstate, about 2 hours from the city. So we lived there. We lived in Webster City for 12 years. I had my kids up there. It was really nice there, and we had a cool house. The cost of living's really good. He went from job to job, and then he finally got a job at the post office. And so then he got transferred to Des Moines, and we moved to the city. But I couldn't really work there. There was no work there.
Yeah.
I'm an artist, and I worked at the newspaper for minimum wage. And then I ended up working at a quick printer, for like minimum wage. It was like
Yeah.
terrible. And like my last job in New York, I was an assistant art director, and our art director was on maternity leave, and I functioned as art director while she was gone.
Yeah.
We thought we were going to move here, and we were going to move right to Des Moines, when we moved here, and we didn't. We ended up going to Webster City, again, like 2 hours away. And so I didn't work for 12 years. And then when we
Right.
did go to Des Moines, I was like out of the marketplace for so long,
Sure.
basically old. And I'd go to these job interviews, and there were, people that are like 15 years younger than me interviewing me and stuff. And, yeah,
Yeah.
it happened. So I
Yeah.
ended up not working. I don't work. So I started teaching some classes at different art galleries, making monsters and stuff like that. And then I got a job at Joanne Fabrics as a sewing teacher, and I worked there for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And then I met Marita. Marita found me on the internet. So
That's awesome.
yay! So, and all I ever wanted to do was just stay home and make monsters.
Heck
Make
yeah.
animals. That's all. Like, oh, I wish I could just like do this all the time. Because you can't just do that all the time if you're not selling them.
Exactly.
And when I'm here in Des Moines, I since I moved here, there was somebody here that put on these art shows every month for like 7 months out of the year, and I did them for years, like every month. And so I made more and more different monsters and stuff. And then I think it was gosh, I can't remember, 2012 or 2013. And Marita found me on Facebook because I had made a voodoo doll for somebody that I'd worked with that retired.
Yeah.
So I made this voodoo doll, and she saw it, and she sent me this message on Facebook on my business page, and she says, I sell real voodoo dolls from like this lady out in Swamp makes these voodoo dolls. She goes, you should go to my website and check it out and see like my real voodoo dolls. Yours is really cute and stuff. So I don't know who sent it to her, how she saw it or what. So she gives me this link, and I click on it, and it opens up, and it says, boutique du vampire. And I was like, what? Because I love vampires.
Sure.
They're clicking around, and I almost had a heart attack. I was like, oh my gosh, and I immediately wrote back to her, and I was like, I make stuff, And at the time, Sugar Skull stuff was really, really popular.
Yeah.
I was making all this different Sugar Skull stuff, and these guys, I call them little dead guys. These
Yeah.
guys, and oh my god, I've sold over 1,000 of these guys.
That's awesome.
Coffins. They come in a coffin. So I called them little dead guys in coffins because I'm so creative with my naming. But I mean,
Truth in advertising.
I made, I think it was 85 of them for a show once, and I sold all 85 of them at one show in Des Moines. So yeah, so I mean, I've sold a lot of these. Anyway, so she started buying these, and then she comes up with, she's so clever. She comes up with these little like ideas. So
Yeah.
she turned them into worry dolls, and there's a scroll, and it tells you, you know what a worry doll is.
Yeah.
You do it before you go to bed, and they're supposed to take your worries away, so you can.
Yeah.
Sleep. And then that's the idea of it. And then they go in here, and you're supposed to close the little coffin up. And she's so clever. She comes up with all these like really cool ideas for the different art things that she has. You know, she works with the artists.
Yeah.
Me and her get along really good, and she comes up with these things, and we just like we work really well together. You know, it's
Yeah.
She's like the best boss in the world. So
That's fantastic.
The easiest person to work with, and she thinks, or we think alike. I should say. I shouldn't say she thinks like me, but we think alike. You know, and I've been doing ads for her for the cafe.
Yeah.
And
I can't wait to go there.
She says, "Oh, can you use such and such?" And then I'll spend a little time and I'll find something, and she's always like, "Oh, perfect." And I'm like, "Oh, she's so easy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people you work with, they have you change every single thing. Can you change the typeface, change the color?
Right.
You do it because they pay you to do it.
Sure.
So I do stuff, and 9 times out of 10, everything's fine. She just like tweaking, or like we'll change stuff, or she changes the type, or
Sure.
what it says. Or like, so I come up with something, I'm like, "Does that sound all right to you?" And she's like, "That's great." And I'm like, "Okay." So it's kind of cool that we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to work with somebody that gets it, or gets me. And then when she wants something, I know what she wants.
Yeah.
And I know what she's going for. So because it's been a long time. We've been working together for a long time.
Yeah.
The monsters and stuff. So
I'm always super happy for people who get to do their art for their job.
I know. So I'm like really lucky that I found somebody that wants to buy my monsters all the time.
Yeah.
And I have like a constant list from them. They're constantly asking for stuff. They run out of stuff faster than I can make it. So
that's awesome.
I had somebody that used to come over here. She came over for about 2 years to help me make stuff, and I would split profit with her.
Yeah.
And so, it wasn't like she was getting an hourly wage, but we had fun. She was a girlfriend. She came over, we hung out all the time, and she got another job. She's got a real job now, I miss her so much because we would get so much done.
Yeah.
And so like she'd come over, and she'd be over from, this time to this time. And my husband and my kids would know, "Oh, she's over, Heather's over. So leave them alone." You know what I mean? Because I would get so much shit done with her.
Yeah.
Because we would and she was like really fast, and she was really quick. I'd say, "Do this, whatever, menial things. Here, glue teeth on the monster." She's still gluing teeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was great, but it's not really easy to find people that either that can do it or that want to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Anything. It's, like I said, I would split profit with her, whatever the profit would be from the gig that week. So
yeah, it's definitely hard to find people to work with that you get like they can't, like you said, like they can do it, and that it's fun to work with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, but my husband's tried doing stuff. Like he was adamant that I should be spray painting these.
Yeah.
Make it. It's just wood, right?
Yeah.
They're 6-inch coffins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, I'm telling you, it smells. It takes too long. It's a mess. I got to go out in the garage, with spray paint."
Yeah.
He was adamant about it, right? So he gets like a can of spray paint. I don't know if he got 1 or 2 of them. And I gave him a box of coffins. He goes out there, and it took him forever. Used up, I think, 12 with 1 can of spray paint. And it took him all day. And he brought them in, and there was still all these spots, that had, because you can't, And I was like, "See, I told you." And I can paint a coffin pretty quick, after all the thousands of I've done,
Yeah, for sure.
But so, people try to always like, and he's always like, "Oh, you should get an airbrush and try airbrush." And I'm like, "No, I don't want another thing, another thing."
Right.
That I'm doing, that I got to set up and clean, and,
Yeah.
My workroom's a mess. So I have this huge table here, and it's just piled with stuff right now. And I start putting stuff away, and I run out of places to put stuff away.
Yeah.
Like, so I was cleaning off the table behind me today because it was such a mess. I thought maybe if I could just clean it off. Anyways, I literally filled a tub with eyeballs. And I have like, oh my gosh, I have like a couple of those things with little drawers in it with the eyeballs in it. Like
Yeah.
little drawers with you put screws or tools in.
Yeah.
I have like 3 of those in back here with eyeballs in it. But I had so many bags of loose eyeballs.
That's hilarious.
Eyeballs, it literally filled the tub, and I was like, oh my god, like so many eyeballs.
What's going on?
So many eyeballs. Anyways, so if my room was a little bit cleaner, maybe it would be a little bit easier, but I don't want another piece of
Yeah, it's a lot, and we have a small house too, so it's like really hard to find space for everything. So we kind of like we record everything at home, and it's like literally Mike just props his computer up at the foot of the bed. That's how we record.
Works.
Yeah. It would definitely be nice to have like a room set aside specifically for music and writing and stuff, but you work with what you have. So, I'm super happy that you have that space, because you say it's a mess, but it's like you essentially know where everything is. So I get, if someone came in there and cleaned it for you, you'd probably be lost.
Well, last year with all that was going on, I thought, well, I have time. I'm going to clean this room,
They're getting snacks.
Oh, I got you. So I thought, well, I got all these tubs, and I put all this fur in the tubs because I have just so much fur. It's just horrifying how much fur I have, right?
Yeah.
And my kids moved out, so I stacked all these tubs. There's got to be 20 tubs in my kids' room.
Yeah.
Fur and fabric in there. And the room is still a mess. You can, if you were here last year, you would see that the giant pile of fur, like the mountain of fur, is gone, right?
Yeah.
Stacked up. But it didn't really make much of a dent in the room.
Right.
Because it was just a giant pile of fur. Oh.
Like you almost need a supply room and a work room.
Well, my husband built me shelves in the basement, and that's filled. It's filled up down there. I have like 3 tubs of fur down there. I don't know, like 1,000 coffins. There's a bunch of stuff down there.
Yeah.
And then our Christmas decorations are down there. There's other stuff down there too, but I don't know. I really don't know what to do at this point. This room has all these shelves on the walls, and they're books. But I wanted to like put bookshelves up somewhere else in the house and move the books out.
Yeah.
Buys the shelves to put tubs on, little tubs.
Yeah.
Projects in these little tubs,
Yeah.
So it'll happen eventually, I guess. But
yeah, it will.
So I basically work in the living room. I have a table up in the living room.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed. So. Like I can't
be ashamed.
And then when he's at work, I'll use the kitchen table to cut out fabric.
Excuse me.
You know how that,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But
always, we never have enough space, do we?
I know. And well, I told you I worked at Joanne Fabrics for a long time. Think about that.
Yeah.
Right? So like literally my paycheck went to, buying stuff there. I have so much fabric, and I start buying fabric by the bolt.
Yeah.
I would get a fabric, and then in New Orleans they'd say, oh, we like this particular doll. And then I'd be like, oh God, and I'd go looking for the fabric, and I'd buy it because you can't find fabric. Once you buy something, it might not be there the next time you go back.
Sure.
Not so easy. So I start buying bolts of the fabric, the most popular fabric. So
yeah.
Now bolts of fabric on top of everything else in the room. And then I bought bolts of fabric last year to make masks out of. So yeah, it's like horrifying.
Well, I suppose you could do something where any of the ones that you've bought that you really don't feel connected to or something.
Yeah.
You could like.
I love
you
all
do.
that. Yes,
yeah.
It's really hard. I did try doing that. I did separate stuff out, and I ended up pulling all this other stuff back in that I had separated out to make masks, because not everybody wanted masks with bats on it, believe it or not.
Right.
Wanted regular masks, like with normal fabric.
Right.
So thankfully I had a lot of normal fabric too, So, but yeah, and I washed all that, to make masks, and I didn't really like making masks that much.
Yeah.
It was like depressing. I
Yeah.
did. I sent you masks. You know,
Yeah, you sure did.
he's got like 20 masks. You know, I made him constantly. But yeah, it was not like a fun thing to do. Really.
Yeah, that's not a fun project.
No. Well, people, I don't know. Some people really liked it. You know, and in the beginning, you know how people they wanted to send them to the hospitals and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it takes me about half hour to 45 minutes to make one mask from start to finish. And I
Yeah.
found out they'd wear them like once and throw them out because
Oh.
they didn't know what was going on, you know?
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like it takes me so long to make them, you know? And then I
Yeah.
watched people on YouTube and they were like making them so fast, you know, different styles and stuff. And I was really particular about like what style and how I made them and what was put in them and the
Yeah.
fabric I was using and the layers in them and the comfort of them and the fact that you were able to wash them numerous
Yeah.
times, you know, and you could put a filter in there.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to make throwaway masks. You know?
Right.
Somebody asked me to make those, you know, the rectangular ones that are pleated.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I would stand there and iron it, you know, to get it perfect. And I see these people on YouTube and they're just like folded it with their hands and sewing it, you know, and they
Yeah.
it's shitty. It went like matte. And I was like they can't be very comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
If you're just going to wear it for 6 hours and throw it away, who cares?
Right.
Like I couldn't do that. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes any sense to you, but it was like I couldn't function to do that.
No,
Like,
it makes total sense.
make shitty masks. I couldn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
it makes total sense.
Yes, that was last year was kind of depressing, you know. It was a bad year.
In so many ways. Yes.
So
Yeah.
and then Thursday night here, after midnight, the person that runs our state here threw away the mask mandate. And all these schools woke up, all these principals woke up, this notification that the children didn't have to wear masks to school anymore. We have 2 weeks of school left. I'm like, why did they do that? Why couldn't
Yeah,
they
just wait. Yeah.
So then all this stuff outbroke where, like, you know, some kids would wear their masks anyways because they come from a mask wearing family, if you get my drift.
Yes.
And kids were getting beat up and mocked and
Oh my God.
off their face. Yeah, I saw all sorts of stuff on Facebook and I was just like, oh man, like, couldn't they just wait 2 weeks?
Right. They did the same thing here. So Dirk's last day was Thursday.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was last week or the week before. They said that masks were no longer mandatory. You could wear them if you wanted to. You didn't have to wear them.
Right.
But Dirk was homeschooled anyway, so it didn't matter, you know. But we were like the same thing. It's like there's 2 weeks left or 1 week or whatever it was. Like, why don't you just ride out the rest of the year?
Yeah.
And like, what? And so now we went to Dirk's school for his band concert, and yeah, you saw, and there was like 1% of the people there had their masks on. And Mike, you know, we're one of those mask wearing families.
Yeah.
And Dirk wore his during the concert and everything while he sang and everything because he's very adamant. In fact, let me tell you this funny story. So we took the car to get it washed today, and it's one of those places where you just pull up and then they ask you what you want and then they do the rest of it and vacuum it out and do everything.
Right.
And so he's such a little mask warden. I don't know what you want to call it. And so I have the window down waiting for the guy to come over, and I had my mask in my hand because I was going to take it with me to go wear it in the store.
Right.
And Derek's like, put your mask on. And I was like, okay, mask. What did I call him? Mask police, I think. I was like, okay, mask police. And he's like, well, you're not wearing it. And I'm like, so I pop it on. And the guy's standing by the window. And he's like, okay, so what kind of freshener do you want? Yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, new car smell, whatever. And then he goes, there's a lot of people that want me dead. And I just looked at him and I go, okay. He's like, yep, lots of people want me dead.
Not wearing their mask.
And I go, so what? Okay, but why are you saying that? And he's like, yeah, I should probably quit smoking. I should probably exercise and eat better. But I just figure I'm just going to keep living my life, and I'm going to keep living just to spite those people. And I'm like, why is he saying this shit to me? Like, what is going on, right?
People are
So I'm
weird.
just like, okay, do you, boo, whatever. And then we got out of the car and we went in there. And I was talking to Dirk about it, and I go, I think he thought we were talking to him
Oh, but
because he wasn't wearing a mask.
yeah.
And I think he thought we were talking shit about him for not wearing a mask, but I didn't have my mask on at the time. It was, and had just popped it on like when he was walking, like he was standing right there. So I felt bad about it, because I'm like, because I would never do that to somebody. Like I would never be like, why don't you wear a mask? Or like, I might be thinking you probably should wear a mask in this scenario, but I'm not going to tell somebody how to live their life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thought, what a weird reaction. Like, you're a business and you're going, even if I did tell you to wear a mask, like this is your business and that's how you're talking to your customers. Like, what a weird.
It doesn't matter what you believe in, one way or the other. Everybody's just saturated and sick of everything and mad at everybody else.
Yep.
Really touchy. Did you notice? I don't know. You've been going out more than me the last year, but like people don't know how to drive anymore. I swear to God, they're not using their turn signals. So many people are going through red lights. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, that last car to, make the turn in front of you.
Yeah.
Like constantly, like every single time. Like
I haven't noticed that, but I don't really go out that much. So my going out is usually to get coffee, and it's like not even a mile from my house, or like to pick up fast food and stuff like that. The times, so I haven't, and people drive pretty awful anyway. So I don't know that I've noticed any change in that, but I definitely, let me think what I've noticed.
I've noticed it being worse than it used to.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Not gone out that much.
Yeah.
Ed usually drives, and then he's yelling at everybody more than normal. And then one of the comedians, I can't remember if it was Jimmy Kimmel or somebody mentioned that, oh, everybody's out now. Do you notice nobody knows how to use turn signals and they forgot how to drive? And I thought it was just me. We were on the thruway the other day, and somebody was going like 30. It was just a guy in a car. It wasn't like, a truck or an ambulance.
Right.
And we, all these people were going around, and my husband was screaming at him. I mean, it's just like one thing after another. I noticed.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
And like people are like scared to go out, paranoid to go out, and forgetting how to like do stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
I definitely feel the social aspect of it has made like, I'm already kind of social. I have like social anxiety anyway. And it's definitely not helped that, because now I'm like, you have to venture out a little bit more now. And I'm like dreading if I ever have to actually go into the office at work, because I haven't done it in so long.
You don't want to,
because I work from home anyway. So I didn't have to go in that often anyway, but every once in a while we'd have to go in for a meeting. And not only that, but they've moved the office in the meantime. So they opened a brand new building, and it's way farther away from the other one. So I'm just like, I hope they never actually have to ask me to come in, because it's like, I don't know where it is. It's way farther, and I'm worse socially than I used to be. So good luck.
Paranoid about going to the doctor. I realize it's probably okay and everything now, and but I'm just like I don't want to.
I know, because I haven't gotten my eyes checked or my teeth cleaned since this whole thing started, and I'm like, well, I'm vaxxed up, I'm good to go. So I have to start making those appointments and stuff, because it needs to be done.
Right? You got your second. You got your second.
Yeah, I'm fully vaxxed up. Yeah.
So it's time to go do that.
Yeah. And truthfully, because I did have to go to a couple doctor's appointments during this whole time, they were so careful and like meticulous about everything. So I really wasn't worried about it.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was a very scary thing, because nobody really knew what was going on. And so like, it was super, super scary. But then the couple times I went, it's like, okay, they've got everybody sitting far apart. Masks were required. There's hand sanitizer everywhere. I'm watching them wipe everything down. I mean, I know I had to go to the Verizon store twice during this whole thing. Yeah. And they were only letting 2 people in the store at a time. Right. That's it. And before, like, they touched the doors. They didn't allow the customers to touch the doors. And in between each customer, you could watch them through the glass. They wipe down the chairs, the tables, like anything that a human being would touch. And so I'm like, okay, this feels safe. They wouldn't touch your phone. They would tell you what to do. So it was completely safe. So the experiences I did have when going out have all been totally fine. Like I was never in any sketchy situations where I thought I probably shouldn't be here right now. You know?
Yeah, I didn't do anything weird either, but I don't know. This whole thing's just been like, you know.
I know. I feel like it's like one of those things that kind of changed society permanently.
Yes, definitely. I mean, so many people are going to be working from home now. Definitely.
Yeah. And just like, I know some people are super anti-mask and like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to wear it anymore or whatever. But I'm like, I oddly find strange comfort in it because I guess because I am socially awkward to start with, having my face covered up is sort of similar to wearing sunglasses where you sort of feel like you're
Hiding. Yeah.
guarded and kind of hiding.
Yeah.
So I actually don't mind wearing them. I mean, it kind of sucks when it's hot here because, you know, there's the heat condensation and all that stuff. But like, but the rest of it I'm fine with because it makes me feel like I don't have to like interact with people if I don't want to. You know what I mean?
I'm always smiling at people and stuff. I'm like, oh, they can't see me. It's like, you know.
Yeah, I've learned to do this.
Oh, gotcha.
The eyebrow raise. Yeah. That's my smile equivalent now.
But I mean, honestly, nobody really likes wearing masks. They're not comfortable. They are
right.
So it's not like there shouldn't be like anti-mask people. It's just so stupid. They, you know.
Yeah.
I'm worried about it like flaring up again. You know,
I know
some horrible variant that's gonna like come out and, you know, we're all gonna get booster shots and there's not gonna be any, and you know, and all the people that don't want to get shots, it's gonna hinder it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that don't want to get it.
I know, and it's you know, what are you supposed to do? I can't.
And the crazy thing is they're not anti-vaxxers. So I'm like, why do you trust all the other vaccines? You get a flu shot every year, but for whatever reason, you think this one's going to hurt you. Like, it's not logical. That's the thing. Like, if you were completely anti-shots forever, then I'm like, okay, I understand why you're also not wanting to get this one. Right. But if you get every other shot and you get flu shots every year, it goes through the same protocol. Like, they check it the exact same way. And like the flu shot's different every year. It's not the same flu shot every year.
I hate getting the flu shot. Oh, you know, it always creeps me out. I always feel like I'm going to get more sick, and you know.
Yeah, I'm paranoid taking anything. So whether it's a medicine, a vitamin, a nose spray that somebody recommends, like I'm paranoid about all that stuff because I have had reactions to things.
Right.
So I'm always like, oh, I hope I don't have a reaction to this. So I'm nervous anytime I try something new.
Yeah.
So every year when I go to get the flu shot, I'm obviously nervous because I'm like, what if this is the year I have a reaction to it, even though I've never had a reaction to it before? You know what I mean? So I was nervous to get the shot because you don't know how your body's going to react to anything. But I went and did it anyways because I'm like, okay, well, either I trust people who are scientists or I don't trust people who are scientists. You have to put your money where your mouth is and do it, you know?
I can't imagine that they were going to like, you know, poison the whole population of the world, you know?
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
Please. That and like this whole tracking, people saying there's a tracking device in it and all this. Like,
a tracking device in your phone.
You've been tracked since the day you were born. They gave you a number the second you were born. What the fuck are you talking about? So stupid.
It is. The whole thing's been so crazy.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as this is over, something else is going to happen, I'm sure.
Of course. I
can't imagine what's next, but
I hope it's not this dramatic.
Well, let's hope that like the country doesn't go on fire like Australia. Like, you know, we keep having these fires here too, so I mean,
we actually, I don't know if they put it out or not, but we had one not too far from, there's wildfires here every year. that one of the reasons the air quality has been so bad is because there's a fire going on. I don't know if they put it out yet. I don't even pay attention to it anymore because it's like normal
Yeah.
part of life when you live here is that there's wildfires.
Oh yeah, you remember how Australia was on fire right before the pandemic?
Yeah, that was horrific.
But did you see that like now they're like overrun with these mice? They have so many mice, it's like horrifying. And I was like, it's because like all the predators, like the owls and whatever would eat
Yeah,
because mice populate so fast.
sure.
Yeah, they're like having problems really bad with the mice there. So and that like
Aw,
I'm like, oh my god, all the owls and all those big birds, the things that would eat mice are dead. You know,
that's so
they're dying.
sad.
So yeah, it's creepy. So we were just like watching that the other night. I was like, it's just like one thing after another, you know.
Yeah,
It
that's
is the end
sad.
times, Tara. It is the end times.
Oh my gosh. And also, it's just so like I get to the point where I just don't even look at anything anymore because it's like there's nothing I can do about that.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Except for sit around and feel bad about it.
I know. Yeah, it's true.
So I just try not to even look anymore. And like once the election ended, I quit looking at all that kind of stuff too because it's like
Well, it's not horrifying anymore, though.
that's true. But I mean, it's
You know, Biden might not be my favorite person in the whole world. I'm
exactly.
a Bernie supporter,
He was
but
definitely not my choice, but
you know what? Oh my gosh, he's so not horrifying. He's
I
doing
know.
a good job.
You don't wake up every day and go, what drama is there today?
You don't even have to worry about it.
And so I just don't,
Everything.
I try not to watch any of that kind of stuff. And, you know,
Yeah,
Mike said the other day some horrible thing happened in Tempe here. And I'm like, do I want to know? And he's like, no, you don't want to know. Now, but then in the back of your mind, you're like, gee, I wonder what it was.
well,
But I'm not going to go look. I promised. I'm like, I'm not going to go look because it'll just be something that horrifies me.
here, since things have been getting better, a little bit better in the country, we're having mass shootings like constantly. There's shootings constantly. Every day there's shootings. And some of them are those really bad ones, you know.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them. A lot more than we didn't have any for like a year
Yeah.
because everybody was locked in the house.
Yeah.
Those people that need to go out and shoot people were going crazy because they're all running around shooting people now again. It's bad.
It's so bizarre.
A lot of shootings. It's so I'm just like, you know, it's kind of scary. And like I'm in a state that people can carry.
Us here, and open carry. Like
Yeah,
we were when we were getting the car washed today, Dirk said, that guy has guns.
I know, isn't that creepy?
And he gets really scared by it because you don't know. I don't know if that person's stable or not. I mean, you generally speaking, it's like you don't need to sit there and worry about it. But if some guy's walking around with a holster on with guns,
it's the world we're in now.
chances are you don't have to worry about them. But by the same token, it's like, why do you need to walk around like that? Like, that's really like, how small is your dick that you feel the need to walk around with 2 guns on your hip?
I don't know. People really love their guns. We're not a gun family. You know,
I don't have a problem with guns, like whatever, but it seems like an awfully strange obsession for a lot of people.
Well, I had a girlfriend tell me one time, we were talking about it. I was saying something about like, we're not gun people. Like she's like, really? You guys don't have guns? And I was like, no. And she was like, you'd be surprised. Just about everybody you know, or like all, like, I don't know how she said it. Like all the girls, you know, our girlfriends, like girlfriends that we know together, almost all of them carry. And I was kind of like, you know, because it's not conversation that I have with girlfriends or
right.
Like, hey, do you have a gun in your purse? You know, I mean, I never, you know,
It's not something that crosses my mind either.
I'm not from here, so and I'm, you know, because it's a more, you know, New York, you don't carry a gun in New York. It's like crazy,
Right.
you know. So, but yeah, I guess, you know, people grow up with that more here, you know.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, like we had guns in our house and there was no safety protocol. They were literally just hanging on the wall. Theoretically, I could have went and gotten one and decided to play with it. But it was just like one of those things where it was like, yeah, those are dad's guns, don't touch them. And you didn't touch them. But so I don't have a problem with people having them or whatever, but it just seems like a really strange thing to be obsessed with.
It's a strange time.
I don't know. And especially like you're going to get your car washed. You really think you need to be packing like 2 guns at the car wash? Like, what do you think's going to happen at the car wash that you need to have 2 guns? 2!
I feel bad.
Not even just 1.
Not the fact that just people feel like they have to carry them, or that women
Yeah,
carry
it's weird.
like they have to carry them to protect themselves, just in case. I've never felt the need that I need to carry a gun to protect myself ever.
Yeah,
I didn't, I
it's
didn't grow up with them or anything like that at all. So, they might have been, they learned, like, kind of learned behavior, that they,
sure.
if their parents had them and stuff like that. That's, and that's their prerogative. I don't have anything against anybody that carries one, but it's just kind of crazy that
Yeah.
there's just so many out there now.
And that they're readily available. That's I don't think anybody wants to take away. I mean, there are people that want to take away people's right to have a gun, but I
No.
think generally speaking, we just want to make sure that the people that do get them should have them and not people who are going to go and shoot a bunch of people. Like
Yeah.
if you can't get a driver's license without having a driving test and a written test and spending X amount of, time training for it, like why can you just go get something that you can shoot, a whole bunch of people in a matter of a couple seconds? Like that's crazy to me.
No.
Whatever.
So anyways,
Awful.
that was probably what your husband was not telling you, that there's just like been a lot of shootings.
It's possible, but usually when something freaks him out really bad, it's either somebody did something to a child or an animal. Those are the two things that he will always be like, don't look, because I can't, he
Just
gets really upset about it and I can't handle it
watch
either.
it,
So
you're paying attention to it. If you're looking for that, it's horrifying.
I know.
And that's the same thing too. I can't remember, one of the late night show guys was talking about that, like what's going on. It's like worse than it ever has been, and there was
Yeah.
one up in Canada too. So it's like, our disease spreads up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you see that too? Like how they were like Trumpers, Canadian Trumpers, like guys up there that were like yay Trump. I saw that on a couple things, and I was like, why would you even?
How is it even relevant to them?
Yeah, why would you be like that? Like
So
what?
strange.
You know?
So strange.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know.
it's
Mike and I always talk about if we were younger, we would probably move someplace else, like Europe or something.
to get away from it.
Um,
Yeah, right.
well, not necessarily just to get away from that, but I feel like, first of all, like music wise, we probably would do better if we lived there.
Okay.
Um, but also the lifestyle seems to be more like congruent with us as human beings. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're old. We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope that at some point there's some kind of tipping point where the youth are tired of all the bullshit and they do something to like right the train, you know what I mean? Get it back on the right course.
Will
Uh
will they? Did we?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, I hope that yeah, I don't know.
I
I
don't know.
hope that I hope that they learn from mistakes. That's all I can. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, kids these days." And I'm like, "Okay, so I know quite a bit of kids these days, and they're all like against pollution and like throwing garbage on the ground and they're for recycling, and I don't think they're as bad as what we were when, I mean, back in the day, there was, I mean, for fuck's sake, Lake Erie caught on fire. I mean, there was no one cared about pollution and throwing garbage down on the ground willy nilly and whatever. At least kids now kind of are paying attention to that sort of stuff, you know?
They are too. Yeah, but it's scary. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. But
All we can do is hope that
my
there's
son got engaged.
decent.
He got engaged, and they don't know when they're going to be able to get married because they don't want to get married during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Normal wedding. A lot of people still went ahead and had weddings and smaller weddings and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They want to do that. They want to have a regular wedding. So I thought that was kind of sad, that like, are all these kids that didn't get to graduate,
Yeah.
did better this year or go to prom last year. That's really sad. I didn't do that stuff, but people that are
Yeah, I didn't either.
You didn't go to prom or graduation?
No, I did go to graduation, but I didn't go to, I didn't go to prom. I went to one homecoming and I went with my female friends.
Yeah.
And, but I am sad for kids that didn't get to go. I mean, like, and a lot of kids, that are into their sports and whatever,
Yeah.
they didn't get to do that stuff. But so that sucks for them. Even like Dirk, he was fine at home, but he missed out on a whole year of being at school with his friends and playing on the playground and experiencing all that stuff in person.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but
He seems all
we
right.
weren't going to put him at risk.
No. He understands that. He's old enough to understand.
He does completely. And he did really well adjusting to all of it. I mean, he never complained about having to wear a mask when we go anywhere. And I mean, sometimes he'd get sad because he's bored. We're trapped in the house all the time. He doesn't get to do anything. And it's not like he has a brother or sister to play with, so that sucked. But for the most part, he's handled it really well, better than most of the adults I know.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's good. I was glad that my kids were grown-ups. They
Yeah.
took care of themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't kill me. And then they both worked the whole time. My husband worked the entire time.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't really do anything for essential workers. Not really.
No.
They didn't, here in Iowa, they didn't get shots first. I mean, the nurses and the doctors did. But I had a kid that was working in a grocery store full time.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything for them.
That sucks.
And then my other kid he's an assistant manager at Jimmy John's. They didn't do anything, special for them. They
Right.
Get a raise this year though. But,
I think that they did. I think here, I want to say that they did. Like when you went to sign up, they asked you if you were an essential worker. And I think those people probably got, well, for sure the doctors and cops and all that stuff did.
right.
But I mean, I know that when you went to go sign up, that was one of the questions if you're an essential worker. So I'm pretty sure those people did get priority here. Of course, now it's like open to everybody. You can just walk right up and get one now. There's no wait and whatever. It's gotten better for sure.
I'm hoping that maybe next year something we can meet in New Orleans.
That's the goal. I of course I tell you that I have anxiety. So I'm like, oh, anytime I'm out of my routine, I get anxious. But I'm like, that's one thing that I most definitely want to do is like hang out down there with you guys. And that's going to be super fun.
It's so
for
nice.
Sure.
Well, I shouldn't say it's so nice there. Rita's places are really nice.
Yeah.
Kitchen's is gorgeous. I'm sure the cafe is going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
The store is really nice. Your building's really nice that she has there, where they're offices and stuff. The courtyard's nice,
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Just like, we haven't toured in a long time or anything like that. So we don't really travel like we used to back in the 90s. So I'm kind of viewing it almost as like a little sort of tour thing because, we don't get to do that very often anymore. So even Mike and Dirk are looking forward to it. Going down there and hanging out at the shop and whatever happens at the shop. I don't know.
Been there before, right? You've been to New Orleans before, right?
Yeah, we played there once in 97, but literally all we saw was the inside of the back of this club. And it was this little tiny place, and like you could hear rats skittering in the walls. And like they didn't feed us, and like they basically said, unless you have a gun on you, do not go outside and walk. So we just stayed in this club. Pardon?
Was it in the city?
Yeah. Yeah. Was this place called Angel, I think? I think it was called Angel. But yeah, so we stayed in the club the whole time. And then of course the next day we have to go to the next place. So I don't remember. It's such a weird blur. I don't remember anything about what the hotel was like that we stayed in or anything. Like I can't remember anything about it. Just that this club was rough. And but yeah, it was interesting. And so my perception of New Orleans has always been skewed by that.
Right.
I've always just been like, I don't like it there, whatever. But I know that I would if I was in the right places. You know what I mean? Like, I see pictures of the shop and like the pictures that Steven posts and stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. Like, I want to go there and like actually experience the city and not just the inside of some dumpy club where they're like
Yeah.
telling me if I go outside, I'm going to get killed.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
know?
The first time I went, I didn't really do anything. I stayed there. I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big eater. I don't like to eat that much. So
Yeah.
second time I went with my husband, he wanted to do all sorts of stuff. He's more like, we're here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Drag me around, you know. But we went on one of those pontoon boat things out,
Yeah.
out in the bayou. That was fun.
Yeah.
That's the guy, he's that you can definitely do those tours at night because there's bats out there.
Oh,
So
cool.
definitely do that. We would try to do that at night. You know, I thought it would be really buggy and disgusting, and it wasn't. It was like really nice. It was kind of
Oh,
fun.
cool.
Be on a boat in the, you know, in the swamp, and all the little animals are running around, and the boat moves so fast, you know, on the water, that there's this nice breeze.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
the swamp, it's kind of dark in there, or like shaded, so it wasn't that hot or horrifying like you would think. Oh, it's gonna be hot and buggy.
Yeah, muggy. Yeah.
It wasn't. I think at night it's buggier, but I would put up with that just to see bats, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
That was
Yeah.
fun. I would never just go do that, you know, if I was there by myself.
Yeah.
Like, no way, I would never go do that.
Yeah, I'm such as like socially, like again, because I have like, you know, all my health stuff. Every time I go someplace, I'm always like, oh, I hope I don't get sick. I hope I don't get sick. So like my thing of like running all over the place, that's what I'd be thinking about too, is like being trapped on a boat and being sick and not, you know what I mean?
I get sick all the time too. So
Yeah.
I don't travel well. I can't eat
Yeah.
anything. So then
Yeah.
when I'm out, you know, and I always have to take all this food with me. That doesn't suck. I don't know what sucks. I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise sometimes it's like, and there's a couple places that I can go to that I know I will not get sick at there.
Yeah.
And you know, and my husband doesn't want to eat at the same place all the time.
Sure, sure, sure.
Places, and you know, and I get it, but I'm not a big eater because it's, you know, I get sick too easily. So
It's too much drama.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like I said, I end up taking food with me.
Yeah. I know, it's like I want to be one of those people that can go everywhere and just like eat everywhere and like experience everything there is to experience, but I know myself and I know that that's just I'm not capable of being that person.
Yeah,
So
we're in sync there with that. So
yeah, so just like the thought of just going to New Orleans and just hanging out in the shop all day is fine. That's enough for me. Like I don't need to do all the other stuff. Like because that's a controlled environment. You would get there, you would get used to it, and it would be a controlled environment. But like running all over the place and like that always stresses me out. Even every time we go anywhere, like we went to the Grand Canyon, God, I don't even know when it was now. It was before the pandemic. And we went up to the Grand Canyon. It was shortly before it started. And it was so hot.
yeah.
And we got up there and like immediately I felt sick. And so the whole rest of the trip like sucked because you feel off and you're preoccupied with the fact that you don't feel good. So you can't even like thoroughly enjoy that. And same thing sort of happened when we went to Disneyland last time. It was the first time I'd ever been to Disneyland. I don't know if it's like an anxiety thing, like I'm anxious for whatever, like unknown reason, and then so it triggers stuff in the body or whatever. But the whole morning I felt sick when we were at Disneyland, and I'm just like, really, can't I ever just go someplace and have fun and like not have to deal with this bullshit? Like it sucks.
And it gets
you know?
I get older, I tell you, as
I
get
know.
older, it gets worse. And I'm like, you know.
Yeah, and it just makes you not want to do stuff because you're like, oh, am I not going to feel good? And then you're trapped someplace where you don't feel good, and then you're wrecking everybody else's fun time because you don't feel good, and blah, 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 blah.
You go out to eat, it makes you sick. You go to the movies afterwards, and you spend the entire time in the movie in the bathroom.
Sure.
Not necessarily disgusting, but you're in some bathroom. Boy, that's, yeah, that's, you know, I know. Yeah, I know. That's.
And then it's uncomfortable because you're like all feeling weird about it and everything. So it's such a, so I end up just being like a homebody. Like I just don't want to do anything because it's like stressful.
Oh, I know. I never want to go anywhere. It's like,
Yeah.
my husband's like, oh, let's do this, or let's go here, or let's go there. And I'm always like, I
Yeah.
don't want to, it's just not,
Yeah.
good
And it
chance
sucks because I do want to. Like I do want to,
I'm
but I
kind of
know
now, I'm like over that now. I mean, I want to go to New Orleans because I want to see them.
yeah.
Places, I like that, and I'm pretty, I try to be careful, but inevitably I'm there like a week, I'll get sick at some point,
Yeah.
but hopefully it's a short-lived one, or, sometimes,
Right.
oh, what I'm talking about.
I do know it. I know exactly what you're talking about. And then if you factor the anxiety into it, it's like I can handle being sick to my stomach because that just kind of like whatever. It passes out of your system and you take some medicine for it and whatever. But when you have the anxiety on top of that, like there's nothing you can do to make anxiety go away. It just has to run its course and get out of your system by however that happens.
I do this show every year at Halloween time, and now it's like a 2-day thing where you got to sleep over, and Ed goes with me, and I'm always like, oh man, like that would be just the worst, like getting sick. Like I used to go by myself, and I would drive there, unpack, do my table, do the show, pack up my table, and drive home.
Yeah.
Take food with me for the day.
Yeah.
Now it's like an overnight thing. So and he's with me, so then you got to eat, and that means you're going out to eat.
Yes.
And but it's easier. It's more fun to go with him. But so like last time we drove to New Orleans, and I was like, oh God, please don't let me get sick on the way there.
Yes.
So there's like places that I can go to, like that are like certified gluten-free, like Applebee's.
Yeah.
Everything they get is frozen. So if you get something that's gluten-free, it's frozen. And it's gonna go on the plate, and they do whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You get sick from that.
Yeah.
And so we'd be eating like at Applebee's all the time, and my husband gets like, oh God, and I'm like, no, I won't get sick. I don't want to just try some random place
Yeah.
out of, you know what I mean? So, because that just wrecks celiac. You're sick, then you're sick for a couple days.
Yeah. It takes forever to get out of your system.
So it's like, I don't travel well. We did pretty well. We did that. Like we went to Applebee's and stuff, and then we went to like Red Robin, Applebee's, even Olive Garden, believe it or not, because they have certified space. And again,
That's cool.
those places have their stuff is frozen. And they like nuke it, and then they stick it in an oven to get it crunchy on top or whatever to melt cheese and stuff. I think it's, that's what I think they do in the kitchen. I don't know. They're not cooking from scratch back there.
Yeah. Right.
So that's safer than just going to a diner somewhere.
Sure.
For gluten-free food, because they're making it.
Yeah.
There's a good chance you're going to get sick. I mean, lots of times, lots of places here, anywhere I go, it'll be the top of the list. Oh, this place is gluten-free. You tell the server, I have celiac, and you still get sick,
Well, because it's the same thing that happens with Mike because he has type 1 diabetes and he has to know how many carbs are in his food. That's how he knows how much insulin to give himself.
Right.
And I don't think people take it seriously because they don't have to deal with it. So a serving size should be a serving size.
Right.
But oftentimes it's not. They're not consistent. And so he'll either give himself too much insulin or not enough insulin because the serving size is not a serving size. So, and again, like you talk about, that Applebee's works for you, et cetera. It's the same thing with him. Like we can't just go to a mom and pop place because he has to be able to see the nutrition information.
Right.
And only chains have that stuff usually. So we don't get to go to like the fun, nice restaurants and stuff or whatever.
There's a little carb book. There's a book that comes out every year with carbs in it. Like he's going to sit there in the book and count his carbs. So they gave that to me years ago when I became diabetic and I went on insulin.
We had that too.
That's like a pain in the ass to have to do.
Yeah.
That.
Well, but it's fine. If like it's fine. But non-chain restaurants don't have to have nutrition information, and most of the times they don't. Yeah. So you can't like we don't go get Chinese food or anything like that because most of the good places don't have nutrition information. So, or like taco shops or like, any of those places, they don't have the information. So we can't go there because he needs that information.
Right. Because he's kind of making it up.
Exactly. Because otherwise he has to guess, and you can't guess accurately on stuff like that. I mean, if you just get a chicken breast and like some vegetables, there's like virtually no carbohydrates in there, so it's not an issue. But if you want to have a taco,
Right. You can't, yeah. You
you
don't know.
have to know how many carbs is in a taco. You know what I mean?
In the
And
ass.
they're not all the same, so
Yep. It's a pain in the ass too.
that's
But
one of the things we like about, like Chipotle's or whatever, is it calculates each thing for you and gives you a number at the end. So it works for him because he can,
They try.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but we will go to New Orleans together. We will meet
We
there.
for sure will.
We
It will be fun.
somewhere else. They can go do something, and we'll
Yeah. You guys go actually enjoy this place. We'll sit in the store.
Seriously. So
Yeah, that will be fun.
the first time I went, I literally sat there with her like all week. And she was like, go do this, go do that. And I was like, I don't like really want to. I mean, I went out. I went out, did some stuff, but I had to go to all the voodoo shops and the witchcraft store. I had to go see all that stuff. There's so much of it there,
Yeah.
Geez, even in Des Moines, we got like 4 or 5 witchcraft stores now,
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think any of that exists
Not
here.
like a New Age store, New Age, but still, kind of witchy.
Okay. Yeah. I think there's a lot of that here because Sedona and, all that stuff. I don't pay attention to it though. I don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I hear you.
So
I don't go anywhere now either. So
the gem shop is like a mile and a half, I think, from my house. That's like
I know you love that place.
I love that freaking place. So we go there, but once I go someplace and I know the layout of it and the routine of it, then I'm fine. But it's like going new places that always throws me off, not knowing what it's going to be like. And
it's going to the thrift stores.
Yeah.
We have there's a couple really good ones right by my house.
I love that.
But I don't, I don't go. I remember right before this started, I was in a Goodwill and I was looking for wine glasses, like glasses.
Yeah.
And this guy started throwing up by the shoes, and he was throwing up, and I was like, oh my God. And I put down what I had and I like got the hell out of there. I almost had a heart attack. It was right when, it was end of February.
Uh-huh.
Started talking about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh my God, I was and we thought it was like the flu back then.
Yeah.
The fact that this guy was in there throwing up, I thought, oh my God, surely he has it. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
He was just sick, I guess. But yeah, I was already like in panic mode in February. That was after Valentine's Day. I was still already in panic mode.
Well, and the thing of it is we got sick at the end of January and it was all COVID symptoms. I'm sure we had it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure we had it because I've had several friends too that got sick at the same time. All the kids in Dirk's school were sick. Friends I know in California got sick at the same time. Yeah. And actually, I went and got my hair cut for the first time in 4 years, I think it was. A couple weeks ago, and the girl told me, get this. The hairdresser told me that when this all started, she had her hairdressing setup was in her house. She had a separate room with a separate entrance, so her little salon was in her house. And this woman came to get her hair cut, and she had just come from China, right?
Oh no!
And she was sick. Okay, didn't tell her. But she was just like, oh, yeah, they have some kind of flu going on over there from some like eating some weird food or something. And she's like, but I'm okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. So she cuts this woman's hair. Not even like a couple days later, her son gets so sick. And he's like Dirk's age. So he's like 8 or 9 years old. He was literally puking blood. Like blood was splattering everywhere. And he was just so sick and like they couldn't get him well and they thought he had leukemia.
Oh my God.
Because his fever was so high and they couldn't get him, couldn't control it and whatever. This was before anybody really knew about COVID. Right. So he was in the hospital and they pumped him full of antibiotics and this and that and the other, and they got him well.
Uh-huh.
And then after the fact, they retested his blood work
Right.
once COVID was a thing, and they're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what he had. So this stupid woman, knowing that, because she was in China, so she knew that the flu was going on in China at the time, comes
Yeah.
back from there, goes to get her hair cut sick, and then nearly kills this child.
She probably didn't realize that it was so bad, you know? You didn't
I
realize.
don't know.
We
Still,
had-
that's crazy. First of all, just don't go someplace if you're sick. Why are you an asshole? Like, stay home.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a cold.
You know, we had something go through our house too. I didn't catch it, but one of my kids was sick. And then my mother-in-law had a sore throat. Nobody got real sick.
Yeah.
And Stephen was like, oh, I don't feel good. And he took Tylenol and went to bed. He got up the next day, went to work, and he came home and he was like, oh, I don't feel good. You know, he had those symptoms.
Yeah.
But he didn't get really, really sick.
Yeah.
He got real sick. And then it just kind of petered out.
Yeah.
And that was like January, end of January, beginning February. Never
Yeah.
to that because we thought it was the flu. So
Right.
like have diarrhea and throwing up, you know, like regular flu.
Yeah.
Knowing that COVID didn't have, well, you can have them symptoms, but that wasn't the main symptoms of it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really creepy. The whole thing was just creepy and it should have been handled better and it wasn't. And
Yeah. 100%.
we lost
Yeah.
a whole year of our lives.
Yeah. And what, 600,000 people?
Yeah, it's horrifying.
One of my friends just posted that her friend just passed away.
Yeah.
She's in her 50s from COVID, left 2 children and a husband
Yeah.
just
Well-
last week. It's still going on. People are like, yay, no masks, no masks.
No.
But I'm not going to get a vaccine. There's people still dying from this.
Yes. Yep. It's crazy. It's not a good
Yeah.
thing.
It's depressing to me. And it's depressing and it's mind-boggling the way some people have gone about handling it, you know.
I still worry about it. Like I worry about going out. I have a doctor's
Yeah.
appointment tomorrow. I called and asked if I could do it on the Zoom, you know, and they were like, "Oh, we only do that on Mondays now." And I'm like, "Wow!" So they want you to come in, you know, and get labs
Yeah.
and stuff. But so they're letting me do it, and I guess insurance is not going to pay for it forever either. Like
Yeah.
it costs, like what? Why? What's the difference? You know? I mean,
I know you'd think it would be cheaper if anything.
yeah, but I mean, at least they covered it for the whole year. So I'm doing it tomorrow. So hopefully they'll cover that. We'll find out. But
Well, you know, and I wouldn't worry too much about going for appointments like that.
I
Just
know,
because the doctor's offices, unless you're going to some crazy quack, they've taken it very seriously. So, you know,
my one doctor, my diabetes doctor, they're all like in hospitals where I go here in Des Moines. Like you know,
yeah.
so you got to go. And I always I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to the hospital. But then
Yeah.
I got sick one day. Oh God, when was it? February? I don't know when I got sick. I got a cramp in my leg. My leg blew up and I thought I had a blood clot because I have a history of
Yeah.
blood clots. And my husband came home and he took one look at my leg and he was like, oh my God, because it was crazy. And I had this cramp in my leg that wouldn't go away. And, you know, I had a fever. I had all these symptoms of like a blood clot.
Yeah.
So I went to the emergency room and I had to sit there for 3 hours with other sick people in the emergency room with my mask on. And there was nowhere to put my leg up and I had to wait.
Yeah.
They did an MRI or not an MRI, ultrasound on my leg. And they were like, oh no, your veins look really good. You just got a real bad cramp. I'm like, my God, I just sat in the waiting room for 3 hours, you know?
Yeah.
So I never got a cramp like that before, ever. That was
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
never went away. And my leg just like swelled up like crazy weird.
Yeah.
Because I have problems, obviously, and I have problems with my legs. And my legs, they swell up. My ankles swell up. My one leg is worse than the other. So he got, my husband got lazy boy chairs. We have these lazy boys.
Yeah.
So I point of like sitting in it, you know, like when I'm done with this, I'll go in there and flip up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't imagine how much it helps. Oh my God.
Oh
So
no, I'm sure.
I'm
Yeah.
not having as bad problems, you know, with my ankles and stuff. But it was the weirdest thing. My leg never blew up like that before.
Yeah,
never,
that's scary.
creepy as hell.
Yeah, that would have freaked me right out.
Like in
For
a
sure.
like in a cramp. It was like in a Charlie horse. and it wouldn't go away. I couldn't get it out. And it wasn't like, when you get a Charlie horse and it hurts so bad, you want to like chop it out.
Yes.
No, it was like just, like 1% pain, like, ow, like, ow, not like, not screaming pain. It wouldn't go away for like 2 days. It was horrible, but the swelling went down eventually and everything. So I'm taking magnesium now. Okay. I take so many vitamins. It's like horrifying.
Yeah.
I take like a handful of them every morning.
Yeah.
I pee them out later in the day, but,
yes.
but like now magnesium I'm taking. So weirdest thing ever. I never had that before.
Yeah. So my mom has fibromyalgia, and every once in a while she gets cramps like that where her toes cramp up and like her calf muscles will cramp up.
Like,
and you know what she does? You take a teaspoon of salt and put it in 8 ounces of water and drink it, and the cramp goes right away.
Wow, salt.
Just regular old table salt.
I've gotten a cramp in weeks now,
Yeah.
But
the magnesium will help with that for sure.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean,
yeah, that's scary.
At night, having to sit in the emergency room. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it sucks.
You're having a heart attack. I'm like, my leg is cramped up. It hurts. It's swelled up. And they're like, go sit down. We'll get to you. It's like, So after that, and anybody that came in with COVID symptoms, they put them in a different area. Like,
well, that's good.
Way the hell over there. So everybody that was near me and everybody stayed away from each other. Just in case.
You all had just normal sickness.
Everybody was sitting there like looking at each other like, why are we waiting so long? But because you have to wait, it's just
you
the way
do.
It is,
and that's how it is when you go to the emergency room, even pre-COVID. It's like an all-day event. If you have to go, you're there for a good 8 hours, no matter what.
So yeah, and you were my one friend. He was so funny. He posted this meme and it was hilarious. It was like, oh, I have a doctor's appointment at 3. There goes my day. Seriously, it's like that for me. So like if I have a doctor's appointment, like I have one Monday, so with Zoom, all I got to do is, I will leave all my stuff up for my doctor so that they don't have to look at my room. So all I have to do is like, sit down, basically, But when you have a doctor's appointment, you get up that morning, you get ready, you take a shower.
You worry about it all day long.
You put your bra on, you got to get in your car, you got to drive over there. I mean, it sounds stupid, but it like literally takes up your whole day.
It does.
It does. So I really like Zoom because it doesn't take up your whole day.
Yeah.
Downtime minutes.
And you don't get as nervous about it. Like, I mean, maybe I'm just a weirdo, but I get nervous going to the doctor or whatever. And I try to always schedule them as early as they will allow because I don't want to have to think about it all day. I want it to get it over with. So I'm not thinking about it all day long, like leading up to it or whatever.
That is true. If the later it is in the day, the more your day is ruined because you just all day. And I mean, I've had these days, oh my God, numerous times where it's like, I'll get up in the morning and know I have a doctor's appointment later in the day and I get distracted doing something. And all of a sudden it's like a half hour before my appointment.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I have to hurry up and go. Oh, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I think my husband just came home. Hi, Ed, come say hi to Tara. Come here. See if he comes. I can't believe the dog didn't come in here and cough. Yeah. Stick your head over here. Guys, stick your head over here.
Oh,
come
both
down.
of you.
Say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
He says to me the one day, he goes, how long do you know her? I mean, well, see, like my internet friends aren't real people. He always says this thing like that they're imaginary friends.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because like me and Steven text all the time. You and me text all the time. And I'm like, and I text with my girlfriend here, I'm like, text or Facebook, you know what I'm talking about? Like all the time. And he doesn't really have anybody that he does that with except for me. And maybe once in a while. He doesn't get it. I'm like, yeah, but they're still my friends, or like people that I know on the internet.
Like there's people that I only know on the internet that know more about me than real life people that I know, for sure. You know way more about me and my life than people, from back home.
It's not like they're real people or like you're like imaginary friends, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that's funny. So like last time you guys were on the goth thing from Brazil, was it Brazil the last one? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. No, Phoenix was the last one.
Oh, Phoenix was the last one.
Yeah.
We watched the Brazil one, and then when he comes home from work and I make him sit down and I make him watch it.
Make him.
He's like, they're like in their living room. He loves that, He just doesn't like put it together, like get it, So then one day I can't remember. He sat down and I put it on, and it was like band and a band and a band, and then he was because he doesn't get it. And he was like, oh, and I said they film them, they send them, these people put them together, and they put it out
Yeah.
there. And he was like, oh, like
Yeah. We're done doing those. We're not going to do anymore.
why? They're fun.
Yeah, just
I know
don't know.
You get nervous. I know you get all nervous about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just my life. If I'm going to go, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I just think that kind of ran its course with us. And Mike is wanting to do more electronic stuff with effects and stuff. So we did all those live performances. We didn't use microphones. We didn't use any effects at all. It was literally acoustic. There was nothing.
It was awesome.
So, and it was cool. It was fun for what it was. But now he wants to do, he just bought a new effects pedal. And so if we do anything in the future, first of all, we're not going to do any of those online festivals, but if we post any live videos, it'll be more like the real deal with effects and microphones, and probably we'll have fun doing that, and like maybe just post videos every so often on the Lycia YouTube page or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're kind of overdoing those festivals.
Well, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, you're always like sitting there reading the comments, like waiting for people to trash you, which thankfully never happened. So that was pleasant.
Yeah, no, I can't see anybody doing that, but
I can.
You were talking about that, the thing that happened to you today, where that lady just that random shit to you. Why? I have my Kimby Creatures page,
yeah,
right? And there's a thing on there. I don't promote it that much or whatever, I haven't done any art shows in a long time, and 90% of what I make goes to New Orleans,
Yeah.
So I don't take a lot of orders. I'm busy all the time. Anyway, so I don't really promote it. I post stuff there for the shop and stuff, If I make something, it goes up there. I make anything she wants it. It's cool, right? Anyways, I'm trying to think when this was, like 5 years ago. This lady put a review on there, which I didn't even know there was a review thing on, right? And I had like 3 reviews, and then she made this review, and it was so horrible.
Yeah.
Like, it was so nasty. Like, oh, like blah blah blah. It's not very good what she does, whatever, like that. And I was like, and I searched her and I searched her and I searched her. Nobody in common. There's no way possible that she had one of my monsters. Like it was like really weird. So, and my page is pretty cool. My pictures are pretty neat. I don't think it's crappy or anything like that.
Right.
It was really weird. And you can't get that off there. Like you can't.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me on Amazon. So when on my Violent Violet reviews, somebody and I know the girl, she wrote a really nasty review.
Why?
And she did it on purpose because she's friends with somebody that I'm not going to go into the history of it, but it wasn't pleasant.
Yeah, okay.
And so she thought getting back at me would be good by going on there and trashing my book. Has never read it. I mean, if she thought those things legitimately, it is what it is. That's fine. But I know for a fact she had never read the book, just like this woman probably doesn't have any of your
Somebody told me a story where the people do this job where they go and they review random sites and stuff. And I'm like, but that's not fair. That would like me going on Angie's List and like reviewing someone that didn't come to my house to do repairs.
Right.
That's really inappropriate and not right. So I was like so insulted by that though, So then I tried to get a bunch of my friends to go on there to cover it up, push it down.
Yeah.
But that freaks me out that like people can be like that. Like I have people that I don't like, or whatever, or people that I don't want to hang around with that I don't like.
Sure.
Never in a million years go on their page and give them a bad review or say something to them nasty.
Right.
Or be rude to them in person. I try to even be polite to them if I see people in person,
Yep.
Pretty much like everybody, but there's a few people here and there in your life that you're like, you know what I mean, right?
Yes, I do.
And I would never do that. I just don't.
I know.
I'm not that type of person.
I feel like
you in private, I might say something.
Sure.
But I'm not you know, and being two-faced or whatever, like, you know, I don't mean to be, but I'm not going to be.
That's not being two-faced though. That's just, I don't think that's two-faced. Because you're not overly nice to somebody like to where they think that you guys are besties
I don't
and then
know.
you're trashing them behind their back. You're just being cordial. Like it's called being an adult and acting like an adult.
But I would never do that. Like,
I would never do that either. Like if
I just don't.
I have given things on Amazon before negative reviews for the sole reason of I don't want somebody else to buy something that's crappy, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's not done in a malicious way. It's like
No way. Oh my God.
this doesn't work because of XYZ. Not like this person's horrible and they can't do this and blah blah. They suck and
I don't even give bad reviews on Etsy or eBay. If I got something from somebody and I didn't like it, maybe I'll give them a neutral. But I would
Yeah.
never, like, I would never do that. I had one really bad experience on eBay once where I won something, and then the guy realized that he could have got more money for it, but he didn't put a what do you call it? He didn't have a reserve on it. Nobody else bid on it, and I won. And he was like, "Oh, but this is worth like way, you know, $50. You got to give me $50." I'm like, "No, I won that legit in an auction,
yeah,
$12 or whatever, you know."
right.
He refused to sell it to me, right? And so I filed the complaint against him. He was really nasty. He called me on the phone. He was really nasty about it, and I said to him, "You don't even know how to use eBay. You have to like put a reserve on it for $49 then or whatever if you want it to go that high.
Right.
Doesn't go that high, then you don't have to sell it to the person."
Right.
He didn't understand that.
Right.
He didn't know that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That's the only person in my whole life that I can think of on eBay. I'm sure I've got stuff that I didn't like on eBay or whatever, but I was like,
Sure.
or not even give them a review. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly.
would never-
I've had to file a couple things on Etsy people because one person took my money and never sent me anything.
Oh my God.
And I had to file on that. And it turned out it was 100% a scammer because there were other people that had the same thing. And then one time I ordered something and it just wasn't coming and wasn't coming and wasn't coming. And I would send them messages and asking them like, hey, what's going on?
awful.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't coming and wasn't coming and wasn't coming. And, you know, they got mad at me for opening a thing. It's like, it's been like, you know, I don't remember how long it was, but it was a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, you know, you're not communicating with me. Maybe if you were communicating with me and letting me know what the fuck's going on,
Yeah, if
you
there's-
know.
let me know, right? Yeah, I just, I don't know. I guess I'm just not like that, but I don't get it. Like your thing today, I was like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, that was next level weird.
yes. Well, and I got one of those, I never got one of these before from Facebook where they said something I posted was bad, you know, and what the hell was it? Oh my God, I have to think for a second. Oh, I know. Marita at the store, at the boutique, they got some dragon necklace and there's a dagger that comes out of it. It's like, ooh, it's a secret. And the bottom of the tongue of the dragon came out. It was a dagger.
Yeah.
Right? So I posted, ooh, I wish I had somebody to stab. That's what I posted. And they sent me a warning. They were going to close my page down for promoting violence and hate speech. And I was like, what? And I was like,
Wow.
you know, I agree to it or not. And I agreed. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, wow.
I've gotten warned a couple times because I make smart ass comments that are read as
Yeah,
inappropriate.
Comment. Like, I wish I had somebody to stab. Seriously, do you think I really think? Whatever. But I was like really like, oh.
I know. I got banned for a couple days one time because I posted that typo song "Kill All the White People."
Oh no, you can't post that.
I got banned for that. Yeah, I got banned. I think it was like 3 days or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I would never post that.
But I was panic stricken. I'm like, oh my God, my show, my page.
Why did you post?
It's gonna get.
Why did you were like?
Why did I post it? Because I fucking love that song.
I know, but were you like you just posted it for like?
Yeah, I just posted it because I like the song.
See, I just wouldn't post that because people would take it the wrong way. You know.
It's a song.
Oh, you know, all right. Now your kid's still little, but
Yeah.
here's this thing. Now my kids are in their 20s, and oh my God, everything we do right now is stupid, and we're so dumb. And my God, they're constantly pointing out how prejudiced we are, like all the time. You're prejudiced. And we're like, seriously. Now, when I was a kid, I was constantly like with my dad, who used the N-word all the time because he's
Right.
an old man. You know, he's in World War II. Okay, not all the time. He grew out of it eventually, but I mean, when I was a little kid, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Up like, you know, and then when you're in your 20s, you're like, God, they're so prejudiced, you know, or they don't get it. So we've become that to my kids. It's so creepy. It's the creepiest thing ever. Isn't that creepy? And we're always like Ed'll say something and I'll be like, shh, shh, shh. Like the kids will hear you say that and it's like so inappropriate. And then we giggle because, you know, obviously we don't find, you know, like what is, I can't remember the thing now. Like you can't say Oriental, is it? You can't say Oriental or Chinese?
Yeah.
And that's a hard one to stop saying, hey, let's get Oriental food or let's get Chinese food. I don't find that being so prejudiced, or it's politically incorrect, I guess. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. Yeah. But, you know, but we don't say anything like, but there's everything like there's so many things. And a lot of that, the gay spectrum with all the new words and stuff.
Yeah.
New to me, you know, when I was young, those words, I didn't know those words. Did you know those words 20 years ago? No.
I mean, it depends on which ones you're talking about, but
there's an episode of Big Mouth, and I think it was the first one on season 3. You know the cartoon Big Mouth?
Yeah.
Okay, and there's the little gay guy in the show.
I don't watch the show, so I don't know it, but
gay guy in class, and he does this musical number, and he says all the names for different things.
Yeah.
Besides being homosexual or lesbian or bisexual, that's about all I knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what that is. Non-binary, I know what that is. But there's like all these other words for all these other things. And we sat there and we watched it and we were like rewinding it. And me and Ed were like, I didn't know there was names for that. You know, like I had no clue that there was names for that, or if there were names for that stuff 20 years ago, we didn't know that stuff.
Sure.
You know, I don't see, I don't know. Not that it makes me prejudiced, but I guess we're stupid now. I don't mean to be stupid, but I can't memorize all that stuff. I don't care what people do.
See, that's how I am too. Is like I don't care who you want to do what with, whenever, however, whatever. I don't care. And like I was actually just talking to a friend about that, like because everybody want to label, like whether it's goth or whatever, like people want all these labels, and I'm like, aren't you sort of limiting yourself if you're attaching a label to your, like, I don't want to have to adhere to some standard. So I never quite get the need to do that anyway.
With the sexual preferences, if they want to have a name for whatever, that's cool by me. You know, when I was
I don't care. Like, do you call yourself whatever you want to, but you can't expect the rest of the world to know all this stuff.
You know, gay, straight, or bisexual, right? But there's all these other things now.
Subgenres.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Do whatever you want. And if you want to be, that's cool. I don't, you know, that's okay with me. But, or the fact that like sometimes you get a transgender confused with a transsexual or a transvestite.
Right.
Sometimes you can't tell.
Well, you know? I mean, first of all, you're not supposed to be judging people anyway. So, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not supposed to be judging you, then why are you upset that I got your preferred description wrong? Like, I don't care what you describe yourself as anyways. Be whatever you want to be. I'm for it. Do it. I don't care.
Me too.
But you can't like I guess that's in general, like, and it's not just a sexual thing, it's everything. What kind of music you listen to, what kind of clothes you like to wear, what political party you belong to, whatever. I don't care. Like, just do you. I don't care. But you can't expect everybody in the world to care so much about what you want to call yourself. Like, I don't care. Like, just do yourself. Like, be yourself. Do you. But you can't expect the rest of the world to revolve around what you want to call yourself. Like, just because everybody else is worried about what they're going through. Like, who am I and what am I and blah, 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 to care what everybody else is. Unless you're those like nosy whatever people that care about everybody else's business. I'm not one of those people. I don't care what you do with your life. Do yourself.
I'm always kind of like, I wouldn't say fascinated, but I'm always like in awe of the young people that decide that they're want to be a different gender. I'm like, wow, like how can, I just can't even imagine feeling that, like wanting to be the opposite.
Just because I think in our we're roughly the same age. We're in the same genre of
Yeah.
age. I feel like most of us didn't know what effing
Any
anything about ourselves. Like it was like, I mean,
of the other stuff that was out there.
when I was a teenager, compared to what teenagers are now, I would have been like an elementary school
Yeah, exactly.
mindset. You
Exactly.
know, like I mean, I can remember still being pissed off that it was too old to play with dolls. You know what I mean? Like
Aw.
just because I mean, I'm kind of I probably was behind maturity wise or something, I don't know. But or I was normal, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think that kids are much more focused on that stuff because they have like access to the internet and we didn't have any of that. So our only frame of reference was what we saw on television and the people directly around us. So there wasn't all of these
Other
forums and Instagram pages and hashtags to follow where you got all this breakdown of all these different lifestyles and you
crazy.
know
I
so we just didn't have access to that, all of that.
yeah.
And like you said, did it even exist there? Like obviously those people existed, but did they have a name for what they wanted to call themselves? I don't know.
It's weird, you know. So I'm always like fascinated, I guess. I'm not fascinated,
Sure.
in,
It's interesting.
like wow. So yeah, sometimes when your son's not around, put, I think it's, I'm almost positive it's season 3 episode 1. Just put it on because it's a musical song. He's like, does this song?
Yeah.
And you're like what? Like it's kind of funny. They made it for us old people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like a learning tool. But again, who really cares? Like I don't care. Just
They care though.
do
They
your
care.
thing.
They want to be accepted and known for what they are.
Of course.
Well,
That's the given. To me, that's a given. I'm going to accept you as a human being. You could call yourself whatever. I don't care.
exactly.
And I'm not gonna like actively disregard you and your lifestyle
And
by on purpose. Like one of those people that like if somebody is transgender and people refuse to call them their new name or their new identity, I'm not that person for sure.
yeah, me neither.
But by the same token, like if I can't look at you and know that, how are you supposed to know that? So you can't get mad at somebody because they don't know that you're whatever thing that you just like
Drag.
it'd be like somebody dressed in Gap clothes and getting pissed and having like let's permed blonde hair and Gap clothes and then getting mad that you don't know that they're into like underground Japanese noise bands. Like how would I know that by looking at you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm all for people being themselves and doing their own thing and living their life and you're not hurting nobody else and don't hurt yourself either. Take care of yourself and do your thing.
Few more years. You got a few more years that he's not going to think you're stupid, at least, though.
Oh, I'm sure he probably already does. I mean, he'll say like, "Hey, remember in Star Wars Episode 2 when such and such blah 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 happens?" And I'm like, "No." And he'll be like, "How do you not know that? We've watched that movie." And I'm like, "Because I don't commit it to memory like you do. I don't know." And so he'll get real irritated with me, like, or he'll be like, "Remember when I told you XYZ, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "No. How do you not remember this?" I'm like, "Because I don't."
Right?
So he already has that in some regards. But I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty acquiescent, go with the flow, whatever type of person for the most part. So I don't think he's going to get super annoyed with me about, knock on wood, about stuff because I'm just like whatever about most things.
The high school years when, I don't know, they're learning all these things about the world or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They start to like look at you different. My older one, he's 24, and a couple of things are starting to happen, and I see that other thing where they start to come around when they're in their late 20s and they realize you're not stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Said a couple things to me, and I'm like, And I won't say I told you so, but I told you so, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
But little by little they come around again. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping that mine is not as dickish to me as I was to my parents.
aw. I can't imagine you were that bad. You seem pretty nice. When you were little?
When I was little, I was fantastic. But when you know, that around that age, like the preteen, when you start feeling real uncomfortable with yourself and realizing that you're not like once it really dawns on you that you're different and that uh, you're fat or ugly or whatever, that's when I started getting an attitude about stuff because I was so frustrated with things. And
Yeah.
so I would be like real smart assy or whatever.
Mhm.
And when you're not a happy person, it's hard to be a nice person when you don't have the emotional maturity not to know to take it out on other people. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure.
So, and like I can remember being a teenager and coming home from school and my mom being like, "Oh, how was school today?" And I'd be like,
Yeah.
calm the fuck down. Like
I remember
she,
dyeing my hair blue, and I have a picture somewhere with my hair blue. Dyeing my hair blue, and my father almost had a heart attack,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
was manic panic, you know. And he like held my head in the bath, you know, in the bathtub with hot water,
oh
and
my
it
God,
stained the shower wall, or it stained the wall. I remember
yeah,
that because my hair was like blue, you know. I put like probably the whole tub on my head, you know. And oh man, he was mad. And then I start wearing like mini skirts and fuck me pumps to to school,
yeah,
you know. And then like second day, my principal calls me and calls my parents. She's got to take her home to change. Oh yeah, it was. I was like that. I was really bad.
yeah.
With like
No, I didn't do that kind of stuff.
I did
I
that.
was technically I was really good. Like I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't have a boyfriend until I was 18 or
Yeah,
something, already out of high school. So I didn't do any of that kind of stuff.
yeah.
But I just had I'm a smart mouth, I can't help it. Um so that was the only kind. I didn't get into trouble or anything. I did stay home from school all the time. So there was that, but that was cuz I wanted to avoid getting picked on at school. So whatever.
Oh,
And then when I started being sort of different, like dyed my hair and got a mohawk and all that kind of stuff.
but you're younger than me, and it was more acceptable.
Nah, not in rural Ohio in 1986 it wasn't.
Really?
No. I used to get threatened to have my ass beat daily.
Oh,
And my parents were not cool with it, looking like that. So it was like, yeah, that was dangerous to look different in where I lived at that point.
yeah.
Um, I've told this story before, but like me and my friends, we went into Country Manor, which is like a Denny's. It's like one of those 24-hour
Mhm.
diner type places. And we're just sitting there minding our own business. We went there every night and sat and drank coffee and whatever. And the drunks would always come in after the bars started to close, and they'd come in to get food. And we were always a target, always. And they would throw like full bottles of glass ketchup bottles across the room at us, and all this knives and everything. And one night, me and one friend was sitting in there, and I think we both had mohawks at the time. And my friend was, shall we say, shady. He did some things that were a little shady. And he had a weapon, gun, sitting right on the table in a case, just sitting there. And these rednecks decided they were going to cut his hair, calling him faggot and all this stuff. And we're going to cut your faggot hair and blah, 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 blah. And the waitress went and got the guy a pair of scissors.
Oh, jeez.
And I don't know how it got de-escalated because they were literally going to come over and cut his hair off. And we were just sitting here thinking, he's got a freaking gun sitting right at the table, like literally on the table. And these dumb fucks are going to come over and cut his hair off, like, and do whatever. Who knows what else they would have done. I mean, at that, I mean, that was,
People are stupid.
people got beaten up all the time. It just happened all this. People got beaten up all the time back then just for being different. And it was no different being a girl. They were just as threatening to girls as they were to the boys or whatever. But yeah, so that, I mean, that was just one example. I used to get pulled over by the cops all the time. They would get me out of the car doing nothing, just because they happened to look at me when I drove by and saw that I looked weird, whatever. Pull me over, detain me to try to find something, which I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do anything. But yeah, I mean, that was, and like you were talking about manic panic, we couldn't even get our hands on manic panic. You had to drive up clear to Cleveland to get anything like that, and it was super expensive, and we were all poor kids, so we didn't have access to any of that kind of stuff typically. But yeah, I mean, that was just how things were, and you kind of just learned that if you didn't want to put up with people treating you that way, then don't go where those people are.
Right.
But those choices were slim, and I was rebellious enough to just go, fuck you, I'm going to go here anyways. And I'm going to put up with you harassing me and whatever, just because I have a right to be here just as much as you do, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. That's how it was at the time. And so it was funny because when Nirvana came out, and Nirvana and Nine Inch Nails got huge, and the jocks, for whatever reason, decided they liked those bands. And it used to infuriate me because I'm like, oh, now you guys are all dyeing your hair pink and like getting mohawks and stuff. And like 6 months ago, you were literally threatening to kill me for having that, you know. So it was like I hated those bands when they got big, because I was angry that the kids that were picking on me for that suddenly thought that stuff was cool.
Yeah.
So I remember hating all those bands. Like now in retrospect, I'm like, they were great bands. But at the time, I'm like, I hate all these people because all these fucking jocks that were harassing me every single day are now like going to these Nine Inch Nails concerts and blah, 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 you know, just super irritating.
Yeah.
But New York might have been a bit hipper than where I grew up.
I don't know. I know they had like a dress code where it was after I left. So that would have been in the 80s, you know.
Yeah.
They're being told kids couldn't wear leathers, they couldn't wear band shirts in school anymore because that caused violence. Those were those heavy metal years though, so you know.
Yeah. Such a weird time. It's so funny now because like, you know, piercings and all that kind of stuff are so like passe that you don't even pay attention to it at all.
Right.
At all. Like you go to the store and like the little old lady's got pink hair, like, you know, or purple hair or whatever, and nose rings and all this stuff. And I mean, that was a huge deal. I mean, I got my nose pierced in 1990 and nonstop harassment about it, nonstop. And I worked at Geauga Lake, which was an amusement park at the time, and was told I had to take it out, or either I took it out or I got fired. And of course, me at the time, I'm like, well, fuck you, bye, and quit.
Right.
But just stupid shit like that, like back then. And even Mike and I had to go get jobs in between tours. And we went and we got a job in this factory, third shift in a factory.
Yeah.
And I had purple and black hair at the time. And we started there as temps, and then we decided that we were going to get hired in because we weren't in what the job wasn't going to be as temporary as we originally thought it was going to be.
Right.
So we were going to get hired in, and you had to go get physicals and stuff like that before they hired you. And me and my friend Shelby, who was also working there as a temp, all three of us were going to get hired, and her and I went to get our physicals the same day. And so it was the weirdest thing. It should have taken max 30 minutes because they did like a chest x-ray and then the general workup, blood pressure, heart, listen to your heart, and the normal, typical stuff. She goes in, we go back separately, and I'm like sitting in this room for like 40 minutes or something, just sitting there in this gown. And finally, the doctor comes in and he made me do push ups. He made me lift weights. I had to do all this stuff, like all this physical stuff. Of course, I could do it all. Then he had me lay down on a table, right? Pulls up the gown and he's like pressing on my stomach or whatever, whatever they do. And then he's like, so that's not your natural hair color.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? So then anyway, so finally, after all this time, I go back to the lobby. Shelby's been sitting in the lobby this whole time. And she's like, what the fuck took so long? And I'm like, I don't know. Did yours not take that long? She's like, no. And I'm like, did they make you like lift weights and all this stuff? She's like, no. And so when we go back to work and everything, they're like, okay, so they want to hire you, but they won't hire you unless your hair is a natural hair color. For a third shift job in a factory.
It's so retarded.
So I went and dyed my hair black, which was no more natural than the purple.
But still, it's so stupid.
Yeah. But it was, just, I mean, that's like that was the mentality of that place at the time. And it's so funny because like my brother's son's, my nephew's girlfriend is like all gothed out and stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, my brother was so mean to me for looking like a weirdo back in the day. I wonder if he treats her like he treated me. Probably not.
Probably not.
It's just so weird. So weird. Over something as arbitrary as hair color or clothes. Like, it's so stupid to me.
Gosh, when my hair started going gray, like 2006, 2007, I was making it my regular color. I have red hair.
Yeah.
So I would dye it red. And then I cost too much money. My hair is really thick, long.
Yeah.
So I started going to Sally's, picking out a color. And then I'm in there one day and I was like, I want this fire. And I got this like fire engine red, like bright red.
Yeah.
And that was awful because my hair's long and it's curly. I look like a clown, I'm fat, look stupid. But then I just tried different colors and stuff like that. But I've dyed it black, mostly the purples and the reds now, or I don't know. I like doing the orange on top now. Like that.
Yeah.
And I got this new dye last year during the pandemic, and it took a higher frequency or higher
volume.
Yeah, and it bleached my hair out. So I took a picture. I showed you yesterday how it was like red on the end.
Yeah.
Blonde. That was where that orange was.
Wow. Orange. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I don't care because my hair is getting really gray, and I keep telling my husband I'm gonna go blonde again because I was blonde for like 6 years when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna go blonde again because my hair is going gray.
Yeah.
It's only gray like here. It's not in the back or anything yet.
I like it.
So, but I don't know. I'll probably just keep doing purples. And
it looks good. That purple looks
weird
nice.
That blues. Look at that. See how the
yeah
washed right out.
That's crazy.
One said purple passion and the other one said high. I can't remember. I showed it to you. High intense violet or something.
Yeah.
The passion purple was more of a blue.
Yeah.
And that like literally washed up. Like
that's crazy.
And this other
different formulas.
No, it's weird with my hair. The blue does not stay. Blues and greens do not stay like at all.
See, I was always like that with red. Red always faded like really, really fast to like that weird coppery brown.
Nope, that doesn't leave my head at all.
Well, because you have red hair.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of red in mine. I did when I was a kid, but not like, for whatever reason, that color did not like to stay in my hair like that bright red. It always faded that weird, ugly, coppery brown color.
Burgundy was still down here from like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Burgundy stays too really good, but
I finally have all the colored parts out of my hair. My hair is 100% natural now.
Right now, yep.
Yeah, all of the colored parts gone.
Yours is just pretty straight.
It's wavy. It's pretty straight, but it's wavy. It used to be stick straight, and then like around probably around age 35, my hair started getting curly in the crown.
Huh.
And even like my hairstylist, she'd be like, "How is your hair curly all of a sudden?" But it's since gotten less wavy. It was really wavy there for a while, but it's not quite as wavy now. I don't know. I guess it's like a hormonal thing. Like, I don't know. I hear that your body chemistry changes like every 7 or 9 years or something.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't
But my
know.
hair used to be curlier than it is now, and now it's kind of back to being just sort of wavy.
Well, mine was always curly and I was always straightening it. Like I
Yeah.
would straighten it. My sister, she would iron her hair.
Yeah.
Her sister, and my sister Pat, her hair was really curly. And I don't know. I just never like tried to even let it curl. You know, it would just be fluffy, you know, unless I
Yeah.
ironed it or I did something to it. I relaxed it. I did all sorts of weird stuff to it. And then when I got older, I just realized this one day, I'm like, I bet if I cut my hair like a certain, you know, cut it this certain way, and because it was just like really long, you know, just like
Yeah.
long, busy. And so I gave myself a haircut, and it sure enough, like, you know, went into curls, you know, and I knew it would, but I never really wore it like that. So, and after having bleaching my hair for years, I I went back, I got my hair dyed back my normal color, and I wanted it to curl, and it's just, my hair is pretty frizzy on. You can see it's mostly frizzy.
Yeah.
So I went to my hairdresser and I got a perm. It took him, oh my God, 4 hours to roll my hair,
Oh,
and I can't remember, four or five solutions of the
yeah.
perm in my hair. That was awesome. So I had this really long hair and I had this giant perm. It was really long. It was red. That was awesome. And I did that a couple times, and that holds really good because my hair is curly.
Sure, sure.
It
Yeah.
lasts forever because, you know, it comes out of my head curly, so it lasted really long. So I'm probably due for that. But I dye it so much now it would be too damaged probably to get a perm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I did that, then it would curl better, you know. So I had put a lot of stuff in it to get my frizz to curl at this point, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, are you ready to make your videotape for book club?
I am. I am.
Do you know what you're gonna
Yeah.
say?
Not really. I'm just gonna wing it.
Hi, everybody. Put your bunny ears on. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something about the lighting because he'd probably be mad if it was this dark.
Oh, maybe not. You never know. Do you have one of those circle lights?
I do, but that's too bright. Oh my gosh.
Check this out. Look how green my eyes look. You see that?
They just look brown or like black from
Oh,
here.
they don't. They do. I was like, when I was testing it before, I didn't have my glasses on. I was like, oh my God, my eyes look so green. So they are green.
It's hard to tell when it's only like this big, you know.
Oh, I had mine was when I was testing it before, when I was putting the stuff up. It was big, you know, and I was like, wow, my eyes are so green. I don't know why.
Do you have a circle light on?
No, I got these little these weird lights from, I did this show outside at night, Halloween 2019, at like a haunted park.
Yeah.
And so I had a building and it had electricity, but I didn't want it to be bright. So I bought all these weird little lights that like hang,
Yeah.
these weird little like weird stuff. This is like a pumpkin lights like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got all these weird little, these cool lights. This one's cool. This one like flashes and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So anyways, and they take batteries or whatever, but they hang. So I'd have stuff and then I'd hang it.
Yeah.
So I pulled some of those out today so that because when it's bright in here, it's like really horrifying.
The darkness is better anyways.
And you could see the blankets and stuff. And I was like, no. So
I have my giant tub of Cheeto paws that I didn't even break out. I told you to bring snacks and then I didn't even eat my snacks. I have those and I have mini Heath bars. Didn't even eat them.
I have Fritos.
Yeah.
Did you ever
So-
get the giant tub of the cotton candy balls?
No.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Yeah.
Have you had the cotton candy balls?
No.
All right. Captain Crunch has a cotton candy cereal. Did you see that?
I haven't been in a store in like a year and a half to shop for cereal. So
You can
no.
Google it. Captain Crunch has these cotton candy balls. It's cereal. That's just what you want to feed your kid. Cotton candy for
Right.
breakfast. But they have those things, those big clear things,
Yeah.
filled with those balls, and it's like eating a little piece of hard cotton candy. Oh my god!
Oh.
I love
I'm not a candy person. I'm a chocolate person. I'm not so much a candy person.
I thought you liked cotton candy.
I do like cotton candy, not to like on a special occasion, like if I'm at the fair or
Oh yeah,
something like that. Not like I don't sit around going, "Ooh, do I want some cotton candy?" You know.
I do. Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm
I
just not a candy.
put cotton candy in those goodie bags.
I know that's exciting.
I was so happy I found those little bags.
Yeah,
That was amazing because the first ones I found they were too big. They're huge.
yeah,
They're like gigantic. And I was just gonna order them from the Dollar Tree because you can order 30 for $30. Period.
yeah,
You can handle
yeah,
it. So for whatever reason, we were out and about, and oh, I know. There's these little wood boxes. Okay, so the Dollar Tree has like a craft section now,
yeah,
right? So they get all this wood stuff and all this crappy paint you can buy. Well, they
yeah,
got little wood chests. They're only $1, and they're perfect for those little vampire hunter kits.
yeah,
So I bought a case, which is 100 of the little black jewelry boxes.
yeah,
But I got to do all this stuff to like joint them and stuff. You know, it's like work. It's a lot of work to do it, you know?
yeah,
So I go in the Dollar Tree to go get whatever I was in there for, birthday cards, a couple months ago. And they had these little chests for $1. I mean, how can you beat that? So I
yeah,
went in there and I bought them. And that's when I saw the cotton candy bags. And I was like, oh shit, because they're huge. They're like big.
yeah,
So Stephen, for the book boxes, they don't physically use a box. They wrap them in the bubble pack,
yeah,
put them in those envelopes, the priority envelopes.
yeah,
So I was like, oh shit, I can't get that. That's like going to take up a third of the bag and it's going to get
yeah,
smashed down really bad, right? So I was like, shit. So I was looking on Amazon. So I'm searching cotton candy, and there's all sorts of cotton candy shit out there. There's like taffy, there's suckers that taste like cotton candy. There's all sorts of stuff, right?
yeah,
I came upon this like package, and it had 30 pieces in the package. How can you beat that? And they were like smaller. So it said how big each one was.
yeah,
So chance, and I bought it, and it came, and it's like a third of the size of the one from the Dollar Tree. So that worked out really good.
yeah,
So, and I put a little bat on there, you know, so it was cuter. But
yeah.
so
Yeah, it's funny. You know, you had sent me some of that violet candy.
I love that stuff. I eat that like it's food. Yeah.
So I posted that picture where you could see the violet candy in the thing, and I had a bunch of people say, "Oh, that's so cool that you put that candy in there." And then one person goes, "I hate that candy. It tastes like soap."
Yeah, it's like cilantro. So, you know how some people
Yeah,
cilantro? Yeah. You either like it or you don't. So I
yeah,
mean, when I was young, I used to go to B. Altman's to get what was it, Clinique?
uh-huh,
Clinique soap and all that stuff. I used to go in there to buy it. And they used to sell Charlie perfume at the counter. Okay, they don't even manufacture the perfume anymore.
They don't.
No, they only make cologne spray. I think
Oh,
the only place you can get the perfume maybe is in France. Seriously, I looked it up because I had like one bottle left of perfume. It was expensive because I wear Charlie. Anyways, so I used to go on to B. Altman's, and they had a candy counter, and they had the violets, and they look sort of like those little mints, those little soft mints, you know, you put in your mouth, and they kind
yeah,
of
the buttermints. Yeah,
So they used to sell violets like that by the pound, and that's when I first started eating them, was because of I'd go and B. Altman's and get them. And then they sell that's like that company, C. Howard's, is very popular, or used to be when I lived in New York City. So you'd go up to a newsstand and there'd be gum, and they would always have those boxes. So, and they're the same people that make the clove gum.
I love that clone and blackjack.
Yeah, it's the same company. So
Yeah.
for whatever reason, those would be at newsstands. So I'd buy a pack of cigarettes and I'd buy violets. And I would smoke and I would eat those all the time.
Aw,
Go figure, isn't that weird?
good memories.
And then here nowadays they sell that at World Market, because they sell all that weird shit at
Yeah.
And they
I love that place.
Did I send you a violet crumble? Did I send you that? So it's like
I don't think so.
It's like, you know, sponge candy. It's like kind of hard and brittle. It's
Yeah,
made
you
out
didn't you didn't send those ones.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll send you one of those. They have them at World Market. Anyway, so it's like sponge candy, but it's hard. And it's covered in chocolate and it tastes like violets.
Aw.
Yes, that's called a violet crunch, I think they call those. And
Oh,
it's
cool.
Canada, I think. So
That's cool.
those are really expensive. They're like $3.99 at World Market.
Yeah.
I didn't look those up. I got the Snickers though, and I lucked out because I got Snickers for Easter and they were wrapped in purple. So
I know. That was so funny.
and everything just
So
like kind of fell
funny.
in place, you know. And so what was the one thing? There was something. Oh, I had these bats, like these little bats, and I had clear ones, right? And black ones. And I was going to put a clear one in that represented Violet, and the black one was going to represent Roman.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough of the black ones. I didn't have 30 of them. So when we first put it together, remember we were just doing 10?
Yeah.
I counted all my stuff and I had all my stuff. It was like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And then he changed it to 30 and I'm like, oh shit, you know, and I dug through all my stuff. I actually had 4 purple bats, but that's not enough. Anyways, but so I'm the one that like made everything purple. I apologize for that. I know you were kind of like, oh, you can change it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, because I'm like, it doesn't everything doesn't have to be matchy. It's all good.
it must all be purple. So that's
It's
so
all
the
good.
Dracula guy, I got that spandex. It looks perfect. He's so cute.
Yeah.
And then I had the little medallion for his necklace. I had those in purple. So that just like all worked out. They look really cute.
Yeah.
Some have little purple eyelids, some have pink eyelids, but
Yeah.
it came out really cute. And then I glued that long hair on them. And the first couple ones I didn't work out. It was like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is like a nightmare. It's like you sent me a video of somebody doing that thing with yarn, right? So that's sewn into the part.
Yeah.
And they do, right? And then I would never probably be able to cut it as nicely. And then they do that thing where they glue it in.
Yeah.
So well, I'm using hair. I'm like using like if you go to Sally's and you get like a braid.
Yeah.
And you braid it into your hair. So
Yeah.
they're like 24 inches long. It's just like black hair. So I cut a chunk out and then I do this thing where I glue it with it's not super glue. It's this other glue. It dries fast. It's really thick. And I can take Scotch tape and like hold it onto the 2 sides of the skull head. And then when it dries, you can peel the tape off and it's just stuck on the head.
Yeah.
And then I put a little piece of teddy bear fur on the top for like the mohawk part. And it's really long. The hair's that long on the mohawk. And then it just goes into the other hair. And then, okay, so the first, I'm like, yes, I figured it out. So I do it and it's going down his back. And I'm like, oh shit, because he's got the cape. And it doesn't work because then he's got this hair like under his cape.
Yeah.
So I had to do it so that it would go and like hang down the one side.
Okay.
So that it would, you know, over his shoulder kind of. So the first 3 didn't come out right. So you had to
Trial and error.
Yeah, I ripped the hair off and had to start over. Then I figured out and it was like, oh, boom, 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 you know, just doing it like everything else. But
Yeah.
so, and I wanted to make Roman and Violet dolls, and I had gotten that hair originally for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, if I can sew that into a cloth doll. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know.
So I have some black yarn. I might try that. Like, you know, that, and I've seen that before, but I don't know if you have to get a particular kind of yarn for that. You know how, like, you know how they like brushed it out and it looked really nice.
Yeah.
And I might do that and it might look like super shitty because
I was just fascinated by that process.
Oh, I watch doll stuff all the time. There's these people out there that take like what are those, the Monster High dolls or Barbie?
Yeah.
Take acetate and they wash the paint off the faces. They paint whole new faces on it. They take the hair out. They do all this stuff with hair, and I watch different stuff because I'm not a doll maker per se.
Sure.
You know, like kind of doll maker.
Sure.
And so I watch these things and I'm fascinated by that stuff. And they speed it up, so it's like really cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, there's
like people are so talented.
No, they do some really cool stuff, some of them. But
anyway. I have a friend, Queenie, that she makes dolls and she'll make those. I think I may have sent maybe because she does vampire.
I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, she's so freaking talented.
Yeah, do some really cool stuff with hair.
So beautiful.
It's amazing though. I'm not so much into the Barbie doll stuff, you know, where they do Barbie dolls. I'm dressing up skeletons.
Right.
But
I love rag dolls. Those are my favorite. Like I think rag dolls are so cute. And like, you know how, you know, the Rudolph Christmas, you know, the little I think
Yeah.
is there, I can't remember. I can't think of her name off the top, but you know, the little doll on the Island of Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
Like, I just love those dolls. It's probably related to being a kid in that era,
Right.
but
Right.
I love rag dolls so much. And I used to actually make them
Oh yeah.
really, really shittily. I mean, they weren't
Yeah, but still, that would probably be very cute.
all hand sewn and like not done correctly. There's some out in the world, people bought them off of me and it's funny because Mike had really long hair at the time and he shaved all of his hair off and I
Yeah.
kept all that hair and used it to stuff these dolls with.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people have probably long since thrown them in the garbage or whatever, but yeah, so people bought these dolls that were hand sewn, that were stuffed with Mike's hair. He blames me for diabetes. He says it's my fault.
Oh,
So somebody used his
for voodoo.
hair as a voodoo.
Aw.
They were super cute though. I mean, they were definitely not professional in any way.
That's it. Sometimes those are the best ones, you know.
Yeah. I don't
Sometimes.
know. I think dolls are super cute. I love them. Like I love the one that you sent me. She's so cute.
Those ones are big. The bigger they are, the easier they are to make. It takes a little bit of time to stuff them and stuff like that, but bigger is kind of easier. Smaller is harder.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Not
sure.
like I've made so many of these ones that, you know. they're
You're
just-
probably, it's like a routine to you at this point.
Yeah, and the ones I wanted to make for you are kind of a cross between this and the one you got.
Yeah,
Smaller, that version, but smaller, bigger than this.
super cute.
So
I wish I had that talent. I wish I could sew.
you can learn.
I guess, but with what time? I mean, I would love to be able to sew though, like to be able to make clothes and.
I don't like making clothes as much.
Hey, Dirk, do you
What?
want something? What's going on? Okay. I don't know what's happening in this house tonight.
He's
It's like a
"What are
weird
you doing, Mom?"
vibe going on. I don't know what's going on.
He's pouting, you said so.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm out of the loop.
Well, and are you excited about doing your interview at the end of the month?
I am. I think it'll be fun. And Steven's actually going to be on here, not next week, I think, but the week after.
Yeah, with Angie. Is that her name? Tracy. Oh, on here, on this show.
On here, yeah, on here.
Sorry, I thought you meant because he's doing the interview next week for May.
Yeah. No, he's going to be on here. I think next week I have the guy from Horror House. Not Horror House. Horror House. I
Mhm.
think he's next, and then I think Steven, and then I think one more person, and then I'm done. One or two more people. I can't remember. Well, I'm going to take a break after that. Because this is like week 25
In a row.
in a row. I only missed 1 week.
Good
And
for
I
you.
didn't even miss that week, actually. I just had changed it to Saturday.
Right.
And some weeks I do too.
Right.
So it's been a lot. And with all the other stuff I have to do, I just thought I need to like let up on something.
You've been really busy last couple months.
It's been crazy. Well, my whole job situation is stressful. And then,
Yeah.
prepping everything for the box took time. It's fun. It's fun to do, but it's still time. And I'm trying to edit things and trying to write new books, like multiple books. So it's a lot.
You got to do it when it's there. too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. I thought that what's going to end up happening with this is that instead of just talking to whoever wants to do it, I would just kind of stick to people I know a little bit for a while. Just like, like chilling with friends, like real life people I know. So we'll see how it goes. But it's been fun. It's busy. I mean, every Friday for the last, I think I started, it was before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
It's a habit forming situation now.
Yeah. And it was nice, like you wanted to do yours on Saturday. It was nice for me to have a Friday night.
Yeah, for change. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of nice. We went to the store because Dirk's last day was Thursday. And then I told him, okay, well, to celebrate that, I'll take you to the store and you can pick out whatever snacks you want. You can have as many and whatever.
Yeah.
So we literally just went down the chip aisle and he was just like grabbing chips and all the different chips, and went down the candy aisle and he put some candy in and some cookies. And then I ordered him, he wanted pizza. So we had pizza. And so we still, like, for dinner tonight, we didn't even eat dinner. We had snacks because there's so many snacks in the house. Parent of the year.
Do you think he did good this year in school? Did you think it was weird for him?
It was hard. It was definitely hard because the kids had to like manage themselves a lot.
Right.
And so it was hard because if you're a fourth grader and you're being trusted to go make sure you do your work, you're probably not going to make always the best choices with that.
Right.
So a lot of the times he would like rush through stuff to get it over with. And whenever you do that, you're not doing your best. So he struggled some. And then plus he started the year with one teacher, and then they went back to hybrid learning.
Okay.
So he lost that teacher and another lady came in, and she was nice and everything, but I don't think she was like super diligent on like making sure the kids were doing what they were supposed to be doing, because she had 30 kids online. And so the last quarter, a new teacher came in, and he was amazing. He was so amazing. Like, I wish we could have him for a full year. He was so fantastic. And he was super like communicative, letting us know all the time what Dirk needed to be doing. And we got things back on course, and he was so fantastic. He was like, and he's an older teacher, so he had a lot of experience. Mm-hmm. So I think that he was like that kind of expertise level of, he's seen it all and no kid is going to pull one over on him type of teacher, you know what I mean? But super, super nice, but also like made them mind their P's and Q's. So he was great. And we were sad to say goodbye because I just met him for the first time face to face when we dropped the computer off on Thursday. And, Dirk had only seen him twice because he went in, we let him go in to do his merit testing. I don't know if you guys do that, AZ merit testing or whatever. We had him go in to do that because we thought it was going to work out better for him to be in person to do that.
Right.
And we were both vaccinated at the time, so it was fine. And so he only got to meet the guy twice in person. So it's just it was a weird year. But yeah, when you're expecting kids to like manage themselves,
right.
Some of them are going to make better choices than others.
I don't know, that age though, that age is kind of,
Yeah.
You're going to try to get away with.
Exactly. The student teacher even said to me, she's like, my own son was not doing his work, but telling me he was doing it. Like, yeah. I think that was like a common thing this year of either kids like rushing through it too fast or just not doing it and saying they did it and then playing dumb whenever the teacher was like, you didn't turn in your home. Oh, I did it. I don't know. There must have been a computer problem. Like pulling that kind of stuff. So
it's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah. Dude, if I would have been left to my own devices, I probably would have done nothing.
Exactly. I know my kids, both of them tried doing computer classes in college. They hated it. They didn't like it.
Yeah.
They would, same type of thing. You got an assignment, you got to get it in time, and and left to their own devices. Right. They're physically getting up and driving to school, college,
Right.
So it's not so easy.
It's not.
Be a motivated person and want to get it done.
Right. And it's kind of hard to expect that from
a little guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But he did fine. I mean, he ended the year on a high note, so good. It is good. It's good. And next year he'll go back to in person, barring any kind of catastrophe that should arise,
Yeah.
which I'm not foreseeing. So he'll be back to in
I
person.
worry about it all the time. Something else is going to happen next, you know. So, but let's hope not.
Yeah. Sufficient unto the day is the worry thereof. That's what I try to remind myself.
Okay. Don't worry
In
about it.
other words, worry about today and let tomorrow worry about itself.
Yeah, worry about it when it happens. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only thing we can do.
Yeah, exactly. So,
All right, my sweet friend.
well, it was nice to talk to you in person.
Yes, we'll have to do this again just for fun, just to do.
Definitely.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you finally.
I know we've been talking a lot. We talk a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Yes.
So, and
Nice to finally talk face to
color
face.
for you. I did
It's
this.
so pretty though. I love it. That's a great shade of purple.
It is pretty nice. I like this. This is
Yeah.
just the temporary stuff.
Yeah.
It'll stay in my hair.
Yeah.
Except for the blue part. So
That's the shade of purple. Like that's my favorite shade of purple. That
burgundy-ish kind of one.
it's kind of like the color of Grimace, you know Grimace?
Yes.
That type of purple is my favorite. And the funny thing is on our new record, the purple on the record is called Grimace.
Is it really?
Is that funny? Yeah.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty. I can't wait to see that person. Can't wait.
Oh, you didn't take those pictures? Those are pictures.
No, that's the label took those pictures. They just arrived. The label's in Italy.
Yeah.
So they just arrived in the office today. And so they popped those pictures up real quick. And the last time when they did Ionia, we got them like a week later. So I don't know if they prioritied them or what, but we got those ones really fast.
Oh,
So I'm hoping that these ones come fast too, because I can't win them. And they're the cool little 10-inch, you know, they're not full size LPs. So I can't wait to see, and the artwork is going to be awesome. So I can't wait to see it and listen to it and hold it in my hands and whatever. So
It's going to be great.
Yeah. Hopefully this week.
I ordered a CD. I ordered a CD. So
you got the little baby CD?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Aw,
Looking
cool.
forward to that.
Yes. We got tagged on some playlists today. Somehow people got advanced copies and DJs are playing songs already. I don't know how that happens, but apparently there's some DJs that are already playing songs off of it.
The record company released it somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's possible that the PR like released it to certain people or something. I don't know. I mean, we're not mad about it or anything. We're just like, how did they get that? That's weird.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. New music.
Yes. Hopefully you enjoy it.
Yeah, I will. I told you I like listening to it in the middle of the night best.
Yeah.
I like to stay up late and I like to sew at night. And you can't listen to regular stuff, you know?
Yeah.
You listen to so much talk radio or I have Sirius XM. I listen to the metal stations and stuff, and you can only listen to that so much.
Yeah.
My husband said,
I know.
Listen to the same stuff over because they kind of do play the same, you know,
Sure.
same bands. I think different songs, same bands all the time. There's different channels and stuff, you know. But yeah, I had to find something else that I could like listen to that was like distracting or you know, it's late, you know, and I'm not really exactly tired when I'm sewing, but it's too quiet. If you don't have
you want to be mellow though.
Yeah, and it works really well. So I suggest that to anybody that's up late doing creative endeavors, is to listen to your music. It works.
You know, honestly, I do get messages from people who paint or write that tell me that they listen to Lacey a lot when they're doing those things, which is super, like the thought that somebody is creating something, listening to something that you created like that, because I want everybody to be creative. Every human being should be creating something.
Yes.
So that's like super flattering to think that, you know.
Yeah, it definitely works. It's just got this like, you know, way to it, you know. I don't know how else to put it. It works.
Cool.
You know, I tried some other stuff, you know, this or that, you know, and it's just like, no, this is annoying me, you know, and you don't want to be annoyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You agitate it, you know, and it's not annoying or agitating. That's a compliment.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? And it works really good in the middle of the night. You know, it's really quiet. And I don't like sitting in here either, and it's really quiet. It's like, that's,
Creepy.
yeah, I like to be creeped out, but that's not the right creepy. It's like,
Yeah, that's like creepy.
you know, it's like when something falls and you're like, oh great, I'm gonna get attacked by a rat or something. You're like, what's in
Yeah.
here? Nothing's in here.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you just, so they
Yeah.
have to have some kind of ambiance.
Yes, there you go. There you
Perfect.
go.
Works.
Something to break up the loudness of noise, the loudness of how quiet it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
it works really well. So and then I find myself putting it on like all the time then. You know what I mean? Like different
Oh,
times.
good.
Like every time, like I'll put on Sirius XM, say I have Ozzy's Boneyard on, they're playing too much Van Halen. I don't dislike Van Halen, but I don't feel like listening to 3 songs a day. So
Right.
it's like, I'm not listening to this anymore, and I'll put you guys on.
Yeah.
'Cause I have
Good.
YouTube on my TV, so I can just go to your YouTube channel like that.
Yeah.
So when I'm at my sewing machine, I have my phone, I plug it in, and I get a speaker there, and then I can go to Bandcamp.
Yeah.
It works the best, that works the best on my phone.
I love Bandcamp.
Yeah, I find all this weird stuff there.
Yeah.
That's
It's so good.
Yeah, I just find the weirdest stuff, So, me, I type in stuff like blood, vampire,
Yeah.
find music, and I find the weirdest stuff,
Yeah.
kind of fun, but
That's cool.
so, and I don't find that anywhere else like that, YouTube or anything. They're all too conformed, or, they're watching what you're looking for and then suggesting things to you.
Yeah.
Like, what's that one, Spotify? I don't like Spotify that much. I don't like how they, like, if you put on a Type O Negative channel or Lycia channel, they throw this other stuff in.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's irritating. It's like, oh, I don't like this band, or I don't want this, or why are you doing this? And you can only skip so many songs.
Yeah. Unless you pay for the upgrade or whatever.
Yeah, so I like Bandcamp better. It's like that. So, and if I like something and I listen to it enough times, then I'll pay for it,
For
I
sure.
won't listen to somebody's album for 50 times and not pay for it.
Right.
I'm not like that. I'm like, if I'm listening to it, then I want it on my phone too, then,
Yeah.
So, but yes, I think they're better with that stuff, personally. Finding odd things there, and not that you're odd.
But it's not like
you were there.
mainstream.
I was glad, and I think I had something already, either downloaded or from Bandcamp, from before, and I think I put that on first, and then it was from Bandcamp, I was in my Bandcamp app, and I went to your channel and I'm trying all this stuff, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So it worked out really well for me.
Good.
So I think I told you that I like Cold. I like that one the best. It's my favorite. But then I try everything, I told you I'm buying one at a time. Because remember, I bought the one, you go, oh, why did you buy that one? I'm like, I don't know, because it was there. It just came up.
Well, and the good thing about Bandcamp is I think Mike has everything set to pay your own price. So you could theoretically just download it for free if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, but, still. So, but it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes. Now I'm going to go make my awkward video for the club.
No, it's not awkward. You move the cheesies. Chips.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to move the cheese. I'm definitely moving the cheese. Although that probably fits in, weirdly enough.
It could.
But no, I'll move the snacks off the.
Well, I'm so excited too. You ordered more books to send to the boutique.
Yes, they should be there June 2nd, I think they said, June 2nd or 3rd. So those will be there. And then he's got to send me more book plates.
Yep.
And
that's awesome. I can't say it enough. I told you so. I told her a while ago, I was like, I'm telling you, these would sell in here.
I'm just overwhelmed because, it's like the first time I've really had anybody take me seriously. I also have to thank my brain's fried. I can't even remember what I was going to say. Horror.net. Yeah, Horror.net.
Oh, yeah.
They have been super, super, super kind to me also. But it was such a, I can't believe they're going to do my book. Oh my gosh, they want my book. Like such a,
it's definitely,
it means so much to me. You don't know.
There's a demographic, there's a type of person that I think would like your book. And it's there's a clientele that they have in that store.
Yeah.
Comes in looking for cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that store is very unique. When you go, you'll see that.
I can't wait.
When you go to the French Quarter, there's lots of voodoo stores. There's a couple, well, at least one or two, maybe 3 witchcraft stores when I was there in 2016 walking around. And so from a high volume one, like a real witchcraft store, and then these little shops.
Yeah.
Girl has some stuff, and then same thing with the voodoo shops. Some that are really stylized, and some that are like down and dirty and really fun. Some are very touristy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
the place there, you know. And I don't know anything about New Orleans when I went there, and I went to all those stores to look, you know. And Marita definitely has the most unique, weird stuff, you know, that's specifically geared towards vampires,
Yeah.
which is very gothy.
Yeah.
And there were maybe a few things. There's a couple artists that sell to some of the other stores. There's a girl that makes these really cool little coffins, and I saw them in a couple other stores, you know. But I don't see them. They're not like a thing that you see all over the world, you know. It's
Right.
that girl lives there. She makes them, but she has all this really odd stuff, fun stuff. Nothing too disgusting or gross or weird or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. You know, it's more fun. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But really unique. You know, stuff that a vampire, if they needed to go Christmas shopping for their vampire friends, like that kind of stuff, you know. So there's a specific type of person like you or me that really likes vampires, that likes that kind of stuff. And you just go in there and like every single thing, you look at every single thing and you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Look at that. Wow. Where did that, you know, it's just like all sorts of stuff like that. And there is nowhere else like that. Seriously, you know.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of witchcraft stores, you know, a lot of voodoo stores there, not here, but they buy from a general place. There's places that they
Right.
buy.
Right. So they all have the same stuff.
You have similar things, you know, and
Yeah.
I can tell you that my stores here in Des Moines that sell similar things to other places, New York City, Minneapolis, you know, other places I've been, are a heck of a lot cheaper than, you know, you can go in there and get little things, you know. And there was a place in New York that I used to frequent, and they buy their candles. They literally buy their candles from the place that supplies like Catholic churches,
Yeah.
because they want clean, perfect candles with no
Yes. Yeah.
that, you know, are made properly and stuff.
Right.
Candles that come in the glass jars, you know. And so that's kind of nice, you know, you're getting a clean candle. So, but so they all kind of buy from the same
Yeah.
place,
Suppliers.
the
Right.
same places, you know what I mean, for that stuff, and then kind of, you know, package it a little differently maybe. But she has completely different things that nobody else has. You know?
Yeah.
And since she's open, there's been a couple other vampire stores open up. There's one in Austin,
Mm.
and he sells a completely different kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they might have a few crossover things.
Is
but
that the glass coffin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got different kinds like taxidermy things, and
Yeah.
they can't sell that kind of stuff in New Orleans. They have a law there
Oh.
to do that. So they have to like, it has to be certified, like where they know where the dead animals come from and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So you'll see like when you go there, like alligator parts, because alligators are really popular, obviously, in Louisiana.
Sure.
They're up, they have like a sticker on them, and there's like a number and stuff that's like certified by the state. So, because I have a friend here that's taxidermist, and he does all this cool stuff, and I gave him a box of coffins, painted them black, and he put bones on them. They're beautiful, you know. So I sent her one. I thought maybe she could buy them. She can't sell them because it's not, they can't get them off.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, so there's certain things you can't sell, you know, and certain things you can. But she's just got all this like cute and wonderful, bizarre stuff. And it's like the same demographic of people, young
Sure.
girls like your stuff. Or not young, I'm not young, but you know what I mean? Like the type
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
person likes the stuff that you like, the kind of music you make.
Yeah.
Sense? So anyways, and I knew it. I just was like, if you had her books in here, she's got a big shelf, tons of vampire books. She handpicked them, you know. So a lot of them are authors that she knows, people that lived in New Orleans, or people that she contacted years ago. She loved their book and she wanted to carry it in there. She
Yeah.
gets it all autographed, you know. And I was like, oh, I'm telling you, this girl, this would sell here, you know.
Oh.
So, and I told her, and then the book club thing came up, and I'm like, oh, you got to get this in rotation. I got the books from you. I sent them, you know. And she's like, oh, I kind of remember you telling me. And I was like, yeah, I told you. Anyway, so that's cool. But look at, they're selling them. So
That's
you know,
awesome.
I know
Yeah, it's exciting.
it's the first store you're in like that too. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's
and,
exciting to me.
and I knew it would. It's just like it's just the right the book just fits. You know what I mean? Violet just
Yeah.
with that whole like aesthetic. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. She
and
does.
it's really cool. And then you made that up, so that's like it's,
Bizarre.
I know it's so much fun. You know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But I love it. And I think that I'm hoping we get a lot of people for the interview at the end of the month, end of
I
June.
hope so too. Yeah.
That would be really fun. See what comments people can ask you questions about her. And
I know. That's what that's why I'm not going to go into too much detail in the video because I want it to be a live conversation where people ask questions and,
yeah,
because I can't sum it up. I'm not good at summing it up anyways. If you can't tell by my book descriptions, it's like they're very
yeah,
vague.
but like I said to you, the thing you said about how you dreamt it, and then you're like, oh, I gotta
Yeah.
read the book,
Yeah.
and how you always say, oh, they tell me what to tell them, like because you're like,
Yeah.
you see
For
them
sure.
people, like so
Yeah.
you can talk about that.
Yeah, I will.
And it's they're very
I'm
relatable.
going to keep it short and sweet though. I'm not going to ramble on for very long.
Okay, so, it's gonna be good. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be good.
We'll see.
Put your bunny ears on.
Maybe. Maybe.
All
We'll
right.
see.
Well, I
All
will
right.
see you tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yes, no doubt about it.
And I will send
And
you some pictures of the Draculas. They're all
yes,
naked right now. But blood and hair was drying today, so,
yeah, right on.
so.
All right, you go get some sleep. It's probably
Yeah,
late there. What
you
time
have
even is
fun.
it?
I'll see you guys later. I'll see you later.
Yep, talk to you later.
Tell your husband a hug for me.
I will.
All
Bye.
right. Bye. Bye-bye.